13 flight controllers, listen up. Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
We're go fly.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Capcom.
We're go fly.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's entertainment.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Sorry we're a little bit behind schedule there. Was trying to get a monitor hooked up, and of course we got everything but a extension cord. So she's going to go take care of that here. But just wanted to welcome everyone here tonight. I am glad you guys all stopped in. Happy Labor Day. I hope everyone's having a great time out there, enjoying it, being safe, enjoying the last days of summer here. And just kind of wanted to stop in and just kind of say hello to everyone. We can talk about anything. We can talk about the video I just released yesterday. Looks like it's been doing pretty good. So I'm going to see if I can get over to my screen here with my comments and stuff. There we go. So looks like we got Chris in here. We got a little bit of everybody, it looks like. Cool, super duper. I appreciate all you guys coming in here. So anyhow, Laura's going to grab the extension cord there and we'll have our other monitor. It was kind of a last minute kind of thing. We tried to get it put together at the very last moment there, so we're getting it. But what do we got going on here? Yep, and yep. So that's great. The dogs are fighting. So basically, I was going to go over a little bit of the video that I did on Saturday. I released that. That was the compressor change. It was kind of a follow-up to the first diagnostic call out there. Went out there and just replaced the compressor, did a pump down, cut out the dryer and all that stuff. Yeah. You introducing the Pope? What, Dead Pixel, what's that got to do with the Pope? I don't see anything in there that would even be remotely close to that. So anyhow, that is very distracting. Yeah. So basically, amateur hour, buddy. Amateur hour is exactly what we got going on. On the video there, I got a chance to finally show you the crane in operation. That thing, I've been wanting to use it and put it to the test in a real life environment, and we actually did. I forgot some of the brackets for it that you need to use it off the hitch, but unfortunately, I didn't think I needed the one part that hooks to the straight ladder, but I forgot that the bracket that goes inside of that is actually part of the mechanism that is used for the hitch adapter. So luckily I had the T-bar there. I was able to get that on the back of the rack of the van, pull it out. The thing was probably 100, 125 pounds. I mean, yeah, I could have manhandled it out. Generally getting it back in is usually the harder part. But basically, it worked out really well. Every last two jobs, when I did the one previously with a mechanical chain winch, I actually did it very similar. It was on a AON unit, geothermal commercial unit. Basically, the upper half of it had the compressors up high, and they had them all recessed into a real deep pocket where you couldn't even get to anything. And what I ended up doing is drilling a hole through the top of the panel, ran some all thread through there, and was able to strap it and get on through there. Were you able to find the extension cord? So just got to turn it on yet. But other than that, that was a slight slowdown in the beginning, but it worked out really well. Yeah, there we go. It's starting to kick on. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, oh yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, there it is. You're good there. So come on over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to welcome Laura onto the show here. Some of you is wondering, who is she? She was an orphan child I rescued from South Africa, and
whatever.
So no, it's actually my wife, and she enjoys kind of getting involved in this stuff because she sees me doing it all the time, if I'm not either at work, I'm working on a video that had to do with work that I just got back done from. So sometimes it seems like you never stop, but that's great. I don't mind it too much. Do they make it too finicky to record? Well, my cheap butt basically was going to just use the TV that we're not using in the kitchen anymore. So I decided to grab that and figured we'll strap it across the trussing system, because I literally have one of my old DJ trussing systems across the top here that I thought, well, maybe I'll use some of the lighting and shoot down from it, but didn't even use it. So I literally have, you'll be proud of me, I'm using a 14-inch duck strap to hold it in place so that it does not fall on our heads. So ingenuity, and it's kind of HVAC related in a way, one way or the other. So
he's too cheap to buy another monitor.
Yeah, well, I just never got around to it. We don't know whether we want to keep on doing these streams or if we're going to just be one and done or what. I suppose you want the mouse there.
Cell phone, please.
Cell phone. Yeah, I've got to send out my link there as far as the other fellow that said something about.
I'll let you do that since you've got the mouse then.
Yeah. So yeah, just go in here, go to that, copy to clipboard. What? Yeah, he sent that earlier, but.
No, send the link to him too.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, let's see here. Send this. Doom, 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 doom. So, there's the one guy. Throw it on there and send. Super duper. And we can do one other one there. Go over here. Go to.
I am hot flashing something fierce.
That is great.
I know. Delightful.
Mm-hmm. What else do we got? We got. I don't think he was going to be around, but what the hell? We'll go ahead and send it to him too. There we go. And one more, and then we'll be back on track here, sort of semi. Let's see here. We got the two. Oh, yeah, and one more.
So in the meantime, for some comedic relief, this whole lift business, I was telling Rick earlier today that I thought it would be quite funny if we had a whole wrecking ball moment, because I bet you we could strap me into that lift and you could hoist me up with that, and I could have a whole full-blown moment and just feel like I came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
I thought that would be funny. We could like record that on a video, put that in the intro.
If you guys would like to see that, leave something down in the description below that you guys would love to see that. That would be quite interesting, I think.
I'll wear a helmet.
Yeah, a helmet for her Chiari head there.
We'll be safe.
Why is it cutting? Do you not have that centered, or you're just dragging it down there? Because it looks like we're not quite all together. See.
You just worry about yourself over there, mister.
I hear you. At least you opened up the right browser, so that worked out pretty good. But
oh, look at the princess over there sleeping.
She's sleeping good now. Her collar's not rattling and doing all the other stuff that was kind of annoying that it was doing earlier. What's up, Grandpa? Yep, it looks like we got a few people in here. I appreciate you guys stopping in.
Thanks for coming in, guys, on your holiday weekend.
Yep, I figured we'll do 9 o'clock because, we're usually behind anyhow, and we didn't have to go to work tomorrow, so I figured it'd work out okay. So that's why we pushed for the 9 o'clock thing. At least not everybody has to work tomorrow. We got the guys on call, whoever's lucky enough to have that.
Shannon said put the subcooler on her. I'm pretty sure that's over my weight limit. Oh, wait, hold on.
Well, do we have to pay royalties, though, if we bring this person on?
Well, we'd be even because...
Yeah, because he was talking about finger control, drill control, Oh, you getting there? Because,
Hit the top blue button. There you go.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the 7th member of the Village People.
Look at that guy right there.
And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. So there we go.
How's it going, Chris?
I'm doing all right.
Why does that sound weird?
Yeah, I hear feedback.
I hear it sounds really funny. What the hell is that from?
I hear your speakers.
Do you have something turned up?
You probably didn't turn off your audio.
YouTube? Yeah, YouTube audio.
Oh, it's actually coming through my speakers on my the audio should be on the Rode Procaster. I don't know why. I bet it's coming through the freaking monitor up there.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You got the remote control to turn that down?
No.
Wonderful. Why don't you go see if you can find that's up in the kitchen?
Well, I'm not going back up those stairs.
Yeah. Well, that's great because just turn it off for now. That way we can get around it. Oh, you found it? Keep going. It's showing 38, 36, 34, 33. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Are we there yet?
You ain't there yet.
Am I there yet?
13, 11, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're 0. There, is it fixed? Christopher?
Yeah. You there? Yeah, that's better.
You there?
I don't hear anything.
Now we
Can
can't
you
hear him. You gotta be kidding me. This stupid thing is going to act stupid. Let's go back into audio. We're in stereo.
Oh, that's because you got the computer down.
No, the computer's right here. That's the USB port. What in the heck?
Go to.
You gotta be kidding me. You had to have the extra monitor.
Well, unplug it.
Well, that's about what we're gonna have to do, ain't it?
Unplug it.
After we went through all that hell. All right. Now let's see if that makes a difference.
Any better?
Heck yeah, it is. That is wild. I guess.
Now we know.
Yeah.
You need to unclick your comment, please.
I didn't
But
click
wait.
it.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I
Go
don't.
back up.
Here,
Can
we'll
I
click
still hear
one
my
and
audio?
yeah.
I still hear feedback, but it's not as
I-
bad.
I hear hiss. That's
Yeah, I
my
heard the
mic.
hit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think my mic has gotten a little screwed up or something here. I can hear the room noise and stuff. I was wanting to get a different mic, and I've called Sweetwater twice, and my guy that usually answers, yeah, now you're making it to where I can't even hardly hear it. Has called back once, and I was busy and wasn't able to get in. He didn't call back, so that is, yeah,
That's really weird.
yeah. Hold on a moment.
People don't realize how difficult this streaming thing is.
Adam wants to know if your pants are on, Chris.
Yeah, but I'm wearing short shorts.
Short. Ooh, Chris wears short shorts, guys.
I'm wearing dad shorts because I'm a
Oh
dad.
no. Are they like the cutoff ones?
No, they're not cut off. They're not that like new. Or that's like the new style, right? That the younger kids wear the cut off ones or whatever. No,
I think so, yeah.
these
That
are
was
like
something.
legit hemmed shorts. They're just like board shorts.
Oh, those are appropriate. Those aren't bad at all.
But I do have to say these are the let's see, a week ago we went away for our anniversary, like up to the mountains to a lake thing, and I had to buy shorts because I don't own shorts.
Check. There we go.
Ah.
Fixed
I
it.
literally own 2 pairs of shorts now.
There we go. I mean, you can hear a little bit of the noise once I break the gate.
The
But,
noise doesn't bother me. I don't know if it bothers you. I don't know if the viewers are hearing it, but
no, I mean, it's just the one thing I don't like about this mic in particular is it kind of picks up the ambient noise, and I don't have any sound deadening in here, so it's not. I don't know. I want to go something a little bit different, but I ain't sure exactly which one I want to go with. The Shure, they want so much crap for it. I don't think it's worth it. And I was looking at the EV E20, I think it is. That's up there in the decent professional range, but that's why I wanted to talk to my guy out there, because usually he does me a really good deal on stuff, and he can lead me in the right direction, so I'm not buying it twice.
yeah, it all adds up so fast and just gets silly. I try to stop buying stuff because it's just getting out of hand.
You got the Rode mic, don't you?
Yeah, I use the Rode Procaster mic with the Rodecaster Pro mixing board, which I think is they should have named it something different because
Yeah, it's very confusing.
yeah, it's very.
Because I've got the same mixer, and did you do the latest update on that thing?
No, I did one. See, but I've had my mixer for like a year, and or right when it came out. But I did one update in the beginning, but they actually had to replace one for me because when I first got it, my power supply died, and the whole mixer stopped working. So I had them send me out a brand new one, and I haven't had a problem with it since. But I haven't been doing updates. I did one update, that was it. Just I'm afraid of updates. So
Didn't Adam have that same problem with his too? Because didn't he have to get something replaced with his?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
the power supply though, for some reason I vaguely
Okay.
remember Adam saying something, but mine just died.
yeah,
So-
I mean, this last update they did, they put a lot of professional things into it that
that's
normally
really
you
nice.
can't adjust your gate. You know the levels, they don't have numbers on them. They're just like green, yellow, and it's like moron. Everything about it is set up for morons. And they put the option of going advanced, and you can literally go in there and adjust your gate. You can adjust your compression. You can change a lot of different
Too
things.
much for me. I mean, I say this all the time, but I really don't know anything. I've literally had some friends remotely get in my computer and help me set stuff up because I don't know what the hell I'm doing with any of this. So I just, it works. I leave it alone.
And that's probably the best thing. I mean, it's one of them things where, you know, I got into the equipment first, and that's how I got into the DJing afterwards, because I love the tools or the toys, you know, and so it just kind of grew from that point forward. So here I am this many years later and still looking for an excuse to buy new toys, but, you know, there's the private, you know, can you see the chat? Yes, now I can. So yeah, got it. The only thing is I have to do that. Let me pull this down because I want to be able to see what my people are doing. Let's go into YouTube here real quick. That's another reason why I want to get into the the OS open OBS, just because I hate how amateur this StreamYard is. I mean, it's really amateur. What?
Give me the thing. I'll plug it in mine.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to drag it over here so I can get into my...
You'll see it on the thing because I'll plug it into my PC.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Ew, duh.
Here's your sign.
The StreamYard thing, I tried it out in the beginning. I had a hard time with the lag. I didn't like the lag that it had. But I don't do multi-people on my stuff, so I didn't really need the StreamYard thing. I had originally paid for the subscription and all that stuff, but it just wasn't my thing. So I just like using OBS myself. But
yeah, I mean, that's one of the big things. I'd like to be able to have better picture quality, because I mean, just looking at it from here, I mean, on my screen it looks crystal clear, but when I see it online later, it looks hazy. It looks real chintzy. And here I can see the cut outlines of Sporlin behind her shoulder, but yet when I watch it on the monitor up there, it comes across crappy. And then they're wanting to charge another 40 or 50 bucks to have 1080. And it's like, it doesn't cost them anything to have the full resolution. That's just stupid.
yeah,
So.
it is. It's just, yeah, it's funny. Like, I'm always looking for like a better solution, but I'm very slow to change. I'm always looking for something that makes everything easier. I have all kinds of ideas on how streaming could be done better, but yeah.
Well, that's why I've kind of been, you know, when I was younger, I mean, I loved all the tech stuff, and I was always the one that people brought the TVs and stuff to fix. But I don't know, with the way things are nowadays, I'm just kind of, why don't you figure it out? Because she seems to do really good at it after all. And I'm like, you know what? Then you can handle that. It's one less thing I have to mess with.
Yeah.
It makes it simpler by far. So, but yeah, I was just talking a little bit about that video and kind of just going over that a little bit. I didn't have anything in particular. Oh, look at that. Oh my.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Which one should we do now?
I don't know. I'm tired of that one though. That one's really annoying after a while.
That's my favorite.
I don't. It's probably because you're younger than me. I think that one right there, contestant number 2, would be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Roll it, shorty.
Here we go.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome contestant number 2.
Hey, Adam.
What's going on, dog?
I feel like I'm a little laggy.
I thought I was going to be the only person in here.
Oh, all right, hold on.
There you go.
Anyhow.
Finally.
I thought you were going to kick him out.
Oh, well, that is good. That is good.
Oh, I love
Gotcha. Boy, it moves them all around, man. It's like we put you on top, man. You're on top now.
You can move
Do you
them now. They allow you to move them. Did you know that?
Oh, can I? Oh, look at that.
So who likes to be on top and who likes to be on bottom, guys? Do you guys care?
Wow.
Definitely the bottom guy.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Some people don't play along very well, though.
You guys are perverts.
I know.
I was talking about.
What do you mean? Shut up.
No, I was.
Really?
I was talking about counterflow versus upflow. You know.
Well, Adam's the one who actually said it. I was just down here up there being quiet. So.
Yeah. Innocent little Chris. You know,
I am.
everyone
The nice
loves
guy.
Chris.
I'm the nice guy. I don't.
Chris, I did watch your video today, and Rick was sitting in the living room while we were watching it on the TV in the living room, and as soon as you said finger control, we both died. We were laughing so hard. That was so funny. Or no, trigger control. That's what you said.
Trigger control.
Trigger control. We died. That was so awesome.
Yeah, because I did a mixed.
I had
Go ahead.
said that in response to the video that I told everybody to throw their impacts away. I had said it in the chat once, and then I remember Rick trolling me on his video saying that. And then, so I figured I'd throw that in there too. So
Me troll somebody? That wouldn't be me. No.
no.
You got your hat right there.
Hey Adam, but since you're on here, I'm going to ask you in front of everybody so you feel obligated. I haven't got my paycheck yet. So when's that coming in?
I was trying to figure out how like YouTube sends the money because I haven't got anything.
I'll send you my Venmo, dude.
When does it come? Like,
Here,
how
I'll
do I
send
get the money from PayPal or Google?
You got to tell them your real address and your real social security number.
I'm not
and
the
your-
one that's hiding my information. Everybody knows my stuff.
Like
Yeah.
Joseph up north.
We don't even really know
If
his
that's
name is
really his
Joe.
name.
Did you guys
Oh,
ever ID him to make sure he was really who he was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are all questioning what his real name is after that.
I'm wondering, honestly, it may not be Joe. I mean, hello, Joe Doe, John Doe, and hello? Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
pretty funny what he did to
He
us.
may not even be from freaking Canada.
He was
I mean,
going to show us
honestly.
his license, but then what happened? Oh, you were already gone. I think his phone died.
Well, I texted him something and he never responded. So I'm thinking, okay, I said, hey, did you get rid of your burner phone? Did you change the number? And I never got a reply back. So he must have burned that one and went on to something else, is all I can assume. So I don't know, man. That didn't sound like a Canadian accent his brother had either. So I don't know.
It was
They
like
might be.
the Familia. He's a mafia member.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Maybe he's working for the Russians or something. You never know.
Yeah.
He could be. Never know.
Gotta watch out for Joe and his
Crazy Joe.
family.
I was trying to find the box that he'd sent me a hat in, but I swear it didn't have a return address on it.
Imagine that.
I think
I'm 100% sure he did not have a return address.
yeah, there was no return address of any sort on there. If I remember right, I remember looking, going, "Oh, that must be from Joe," and then yeah,
Said Afghanistan on it, forwarded from the Czech Republic, and
Well, so Rich in the chat said he's Ed from Pakistan, and Gabriel said he's in witness protection.
I was wondering. I mean, it really started ringing bells there, and I'm like,
Fake,
man, this don't.
hashtag fake Canadian.
So my wife, the other day, she was asking me how to change her voter registration because she hasn't voted in years. And so I was walking her through on the computer. This is where you go to this website. And so she's reading me a prompt on there. And there's actually a warning about being in the witness protection program and changing your voter registration status, as if it just kind of made me laugh. Like it was like if you're in some sort of they didn't call it WITSEC, they called it something else, but they said make sure that you don't update your information. Something. I thought it was kind of funny, but I guess you had to be there.
Yeah, I like it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know you had to change it. I thought you could like take your pick when the day came along, and if you didn't like somebody that day, you could choose the other one.
No. Address.
Oh,
She
they
hasn't
don't even want to
voted.
know that anymore.
She hasn't voted for 9 years or 10 years or something like that. So she wanted to re-register or whatever, and it was a whole process. But
Oh, you lose if you don't vote for so long, you lose out where they won't keep
it was
you
like
in the-
inactive. It said if you need her voting status was inactive, and then it said if she needed to change her address, what she had to do was re-register to vote. But then she had to prove that she was already registered. It was this whole thing. But
Wow.
yeah. But now
Okay.
we're fighting. Now we don't get along because she's going to vote one way and I'm going to vote the other way. So we're
Yeah,
happy.
but
Facebook keeps asking me if I want to set up mail-in voting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've been getting all kinds of crap in the
Yeah,
mail.
very sinister.
Yeah, the problem is with my area, because where I'm at is highly Republican in this area. They know what areas have majority of things, and as they go to send those in, I could see those ballots getting lost, and it seems very suspicious that they're wanting you to mail it in, so that they're like. And even it was for Trump or whatever, but it was like didn't really seem like it was paid for by his group. It was just something wasn't quite right on it. So I don't know. Hard to say. It'll be an interesting turnout no matter what happens. I think it'll be quite interesting.
I think, yeah, I don't know how far you want to go into this, but I think that either way, it's not going to be good. So
No,
bummer.
I don't. I mean, the good thing about the financial side of things, I was talking to the guy from Edward Jones, and he's like, whether it's one person or the other, there's usually 0.5% of difference. So I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't gonna lose a crap load of money whether one idiot's or the other. I mean, one makes the economy go and one doesn't, but whatever. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's whatever. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. We'll see what happens.
People just get really worked up over it,
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to get so worked up. I really do.
I wish there wasn't such an obvious difference between them. I mean, it would be just like, I like blue and you like red, and well, I want that guy.
But how come there has to be so much hate? Like, there's visceral hate if you're the opposite, and it's like,
what's weird is that, like, people are talking about like all these protests, right? And how it's violent on one side of the protest, but it's violent on both sides. Like if it really is though. If you look at it, it's crazy that like they're like people keep clashing with each other. I just wish I had enough time on my hands to go out. And I get it, it's for a cause, but like, do you really want to end your life or end up in jail or maimed or something crazy? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like Ohio's a big concealed carry state, and they were, when you were going through the classes and stuff, they're like, you need to worry about yourself. There's a lot of people out there who want to be a hero. They want to save the world, and yet you go in there thinking you're saving this woman from getting this guy that's attacking her, and come to find out she may have done something that, and whatever the case is, and you don't have the full story, and now you're going to jail for shooting the guy or whatever. It's just, everyone gets involved without knowing all the full stories. And it seems like, I think depending on where you're listening, they constantly tell you things, hoping eventually, it's the propaganda that they taught us back in 6th grade. I mean, we made fun of the Germans and the Russians and all that stuff for doing this stuff to their people to get them to think that they actually have a choice. And yet here we are doing the exact same thing. I mean, they did the same thing with the Jewish people. I mean, when the Germans came along, it was the same thing. They put up pictures of the Jews with rat faces, all kinds of craziness. And, just to make everyone hate each other. And it was just stupid. There ain't no reason for it.
I just wish that, politics and religion was not a taboo subject. I wish that people could literally have different opinions and coexist and not hate. It just seems so silly, it gets so nasty, and I'm like, I can genuinely have a complete polar opposite from any one of you guys, and I'm okay with that. I'm the kind of person that would, okay, so tell me, and I'd like you to tell me your talking points, and I like to listen, and I don't necessarily say you're wrong, I hate you. It's I don't quite think that way, but it's okay,
I'm the exact same way. Like, honestly, I'm always like the laid back person.
Yeah,
let's go have a beer and talk about it, and break bread together, whatever. We're hanging out, we just have a discussion. I don't have a hate for you, you know what I mean? Unless your views are like, I hate this type of person or whatever, and I want them all to die, and then it's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to hang out with that type of guy and talk about it. But if it's like reasonable issues, come on.
When you're wanting to infringe on my rights, that's where your rights stop. I mean, that's the whole problem. They're wanting to infringe on everyone else's rights, and it's okay as long as you do what I want you to do, and then otherwise it's coexist until it's time to do what they want or you want to do, what some of you want to do, and then it's like, no, just, it's not coexist, it's just conform to the way I want it done.
And that's another thing that's a bummer too, like the term coexist, and damn it, I have lost my train of thought. But in general, so many people think of that, and they have this one thing in their head, and they're like, well, that means that you believe in this religious group and all. It's like, no, I mean, the actual term coexist, it just, everybody has to associate, I mean, just like right now, the left is spinning one thing, the right is spinning another thing. So if you wear a mask, you're one thing, and if you don't wear a mask, you're not. It's like, no, how about some people choose to wear a mask and some people don't. It is what it is. But I don't know.
I'm going to get I told this to a friend of mine yesterday. I said, I'm going to get my antibody test next week. And he's like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, well, because I want to know. I think I did have it. I'm not sure if I had it. He's like, well, what if you didn't have it? Now you're going to be more paranoid whenever you go anywhere because you think you had it. He's like, it's just a mind game.
Yeah.
Never thought of it like that. You know?
Yeah, because I'd be interested in knowing it. Because I mean, all the stuff we're around, all the dust, all the people's houses. I mean, it's just we're around this crap all the time. You know, there's very good chance that we've gotten it. I mean, all the restaurants we worked in. Think about it. Everybody coughs. The stuff falls on the floor. Where's the compressor at? Down on the floor. You're down there laying in it. So I mean, and it's supposed to live on the surface area, but I don't know. The more you keep hearing more about it, there's always something new coming out about it.
The problem is they don't really know how long that the antibodies even stay in your system yet. I think they don't even know if it's a month to 2 months, 3 or 4 months. So
I think that we can't trust any of the information out there.
I agree. Absolutely.
I genuinely think that we won't know the answers to all of our questions until 20 to 30 years from now when they
100%.
and they're like, oh yeah, it turns out, yeah, no, those numbers were all fudged, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
And did you hear about Sputnik 5?
No.
That's what Russia called their COVID vaccine, that they supposedly did some clinical trials, but they aren't releasing any data. And they obviously didn't do phase 3 testing. They supposedly did some phase 1 and 2, but they really didn't do any animal testing. It sounds like they went like straight to humans, but they only did a very select, like very narrow selection pool. And they will not release or even talk about any of the data from this supposed, like, they're saying that this COVID vaccine that they came out with can be used for everybody across the entire world.
Think of the word Sputnik, though. That was a disposable spy satellite that they stuck up into space, and all it did was went beep, and it didn't do anything. It was a total lie.
Putin supposedly injected his daughter.
Bullshit.
And let me, right. And here's something else. If Russia was willing to send you free vaccines to every American, would you freaking take it?
Heck no.
Exactly. I don't think any American would take a freaking Russian vaccine.
Americans are going to take the American vaccine. So,
I mean, I think it goes along on any. I mean, I'd probably take something from the United Kingdom, something like that. But like, would you take a Chinese vaccine? I don't think I would.
No.
I'll take it from Sweden. That's about the only place I'll take it from.
I'm hoping to get out of taking any vaccine, but because I work in a hospital, I have a feeling that, employment may be dependent upon it. However, I cannot get the flu vaccine because I happen to kind of get anaphylactic and my airway starts to close. So I'm hoping to use that towards my advantage and not have to get the COVID vaccine whenever it comes out, but we'll see. Don't know how that's going to turn out yet.
Yeah, time will tell. That's about it.
Good thing I got a good life insurance policy, huh, babe?
Oh, yeah. I'll be raking in the dough.
We'll be rich.
I think the thing is, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this too, but like, if you think back to how everything was prior to COVID and like basically how not sanitary everything is and how easily germs spread. And then you look at it now, you're like, damn, it really is crazy. Like how you should be washing your hands way more. Like everything you should be doing, it's like more clear now. You know?
No, but when our kids go back to school, we're all gonna die. Like they're gonna get so much crap from going back to school now, like because they haven't been exposed to anything for 6 months now.
Well,
and
the first week, high school south of here went back. 21 kids this was in like the first couple of 4 or 5 days of school. They already had 22 kids quarantined at home because someone showed up positive in the high school.
Then the next day they did 150.
And then a couple days later, they had 150 some kids quarantined at home.
So I live in a predominantly lower income area. And it's so bad that this is going to blow your guys' mind. This is probably, I'm assuming, just a California thing, but lice is very prevalent in our schools, and the schools cannot send children home and or address the lice anymore.
What?
They don't want to hurt their feelings.
Oh.
So
you get a participation trophy for bringing your lice friends to school.
Yeah, no, they don't get to send them home. They just. So what I'm saying though is, so my wife was a volunteer at the school, and she was working there, and she started to notice that lice was going around, and even our daughter got it. And my wife lost her mind when my daughter got it, and my daughter got it 2 times. She was like so freaked out. On another note, if any of you guys ever gets lice, what we found is they have salons that do it for you. They take care of everything. So my wife found a salon that she just took the kids there and they took care of it all.
On that note, anyone that orders HVACR shirts, make sure you wash them before.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my kids haven't been in school for 6 months, so we're good. But in general, those kids are all sitting at home in those horrible conditions that they get the lice and bring it to school. They've been there for 6 months now. They're at home living in the conditions that aren't the greatest. They've got all kinds of, bad stuff. And when they do come back to school, it's going to be horrible. It's just going to be crazy.
When are they wanting to go back to school? I mean, normally we start like a week ago.
Oh, yeah, no. My kids aren't going back to school till at least January.
Oh, so they're going to start late in the year.
No, it's all online. They do. It's all on the computer. Crap. So
is that every school in the state, or
yeah, every school except for the ones that have gotten waivers. There's like a few schools that have gotten waivers, some private schools, and in some areas, if you meet like these weird requirements, they allow some of the schools to go back. But it's a California thing, so the entire state basically is not going back to school at least until January, if not longer.
How's Illinois?
It's kind of all different all over. So like we're I guess in Chicago, I think they're already going back, at least some of them. I think they started to go back in different places and then shut them down already. We were going to have the option to go back, and then now they said we're not going to have the option until the end of September.
Nice. I figure with all the shootings and stuff every weekend, 70 dead on average, what's a few people getting sick, but who knows?
Yep.
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy how it's all going down. We're just along for the ride.
Pretty much. All right. I'm sure everyone really didn't want to hear about all that happiness. What else can we talk about?
People tend to like the rambling. They really do.
You like that? They really like the what do you...
I mean, you got 76 people watching, so...
We are doing pretty good.
People, this is my opinion. I think that people like to see a window into our lives because we're just some people that they see making videos or something like that. So if they can see a glimpse into the personal life or get a glimpse into, I won't ever talk about, well, I do every once in a while, but I usually don't talk about politics on my stuff. I usually don't give a lot of personal opinions other than saying how stupid something is. So I would imagine that people like to see that stuff. And I think it's the same for you, Adam, too, I would think.
I don't make videos, let's be honest.
Well, you do. That's how people know you.
I don't get a whole lot of questions very often. Sometimes I'll get stuff that's totally off the wall. I mean, not even have nothing to do with the video, but I was trying to help one person out, and it was a weird, awkward question. It was a residential home that had 4 systems, and the return air is in a bad spot. And I hate typing. I don't either. I don't communicate well. I don't communicate well.
It just drives me nuts.
Yeah, I'm not a good communicator that way.
Hey, back and forth. But then, like, for instance, me and Rick and I talked on the phone today because he had asked me a question and I was like, that's just too much to type. So I just called him, and I can't have conversations through text message. It drives me nuts.
It ain't bad when you're like talking across it, but I mean, and sometimes I'm replying with my computer, then I'm replying with my phone, but I didn't fully understand it was almost like it wasn't even a question. It was kind of a statement, then a little bit of a question. And I'm like, are you asking me or telling me? And sometimes it's really short statements, and it's like, are you saying I did it wrong? Or are you saying you like it? Or are you just trying to be funny? It don't make sense sometimes. It's like,
can I address in the chat real quick? Hey, Brad Newman, are you saying that I should make a shirt that says trigger control expert?
No, we got dibs on that, Chris.
Let's get Brad's answer on that one. That's Rick's thing. I was trolling Rick with that when I said I have trigger control. That's Rick. Rick trolled me after I said to throw away the impacts. Rick said that in a video to mess with me.
I posted a comment on somebody's video just recently too. Was it yours, Rick? Somebody's video, they were using an impact. I don't remember what they're using it for. And I said, you better pull this down. Chris is not going to approve of you using an impact for this.
I use an impact for everything just because it's small and it fits. I mean, when I started, all we had was drills back in the day.
Shit, you remember? I remember my dad's drill. Working with him, you couldn't carry that thing. You had to have 2 hands to carry his cordless drill. That damn Makita thing.
Oh, and then he had the Makita
long battery.
The boomerang.
Yeah.
No, but when DeWalt first came out, even
everybody took the whole impact thing like the wrong way. I was being more sarcastic, but I use an impact. It's just most people can't be trusted with them. So that's why I say to throw them away, because most people are idiots.
I even do that, like even with like zipping sheet metal together, actually, like with my helper, he's using an impact, but he doesn't know, he can't feel for some reason when it like is when it's done, when to stop, and he'll keep the trigger pulled for like an extra 1 or 2 seconds. I'm like, stop. Yeah. He's like, what? I'm like, you're gonna crack the screw off. Stop.
On the impact, if you hear the one clunk, that's too far. You need to let it go before it clunks at you. So
Yeah, here it's starting to bog down, and then you should let it coast into that first click.
yeah.
The the drill setting on the Milwaukee, because I used to use number 2, and 2 is just you purely rapid cycle it, and I wore the trigger out. So now I've been using the drill setting where it ramps up into speed, and so far the trigger's lasted, but I don't know.
Are we talking M12, M18?
M12. The 18, I don't need that thing. I got a Bosch 18 volt. I don't do residential very much. So I mean, back in the day, I used to drill 2 1/4 or 2.5 inch holes through the wall for a line set, but now I'm not doing any of that crap.
Shannon, I'm sorry again. I'm going to address the chat, but you have to admit most people can't handle an impact. So what is that saying? Because Shannon said if you're not a complete and total moron, you're perfectly capable of taking screws in and out.
Yeah, but I mean, look at how many package units you go to, and half the screws are freaking stripped out and everything, right? Yeah. So either the manufacturers suck at drilling holes, or every person that's worked on it, or at least one good person, is a complete moron who's worked on it, right? So,
well, let's just say this, that even on the identical carrier package units we're working on today that have been around since the 80s, the screws weren't all stripped out in the 80s, and we were using nut drivers. So
I never used nut. Well, I had a couple of them. I'd use those for like the burner door on the Lennox furnace or what have you, and when I did plant services and stuff, but I hardly ever use nut driver unless it's something delicate.
I'm pretty good with a nut driver.
You are?
We'll just leave that right there.
Okay. She is trying to be something else tonight.
I don't know what, I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to get yelled at again.
I wonder if Mom put something in the brownies she made.
Well, I'm wondering. I've told her,
Jeez.
Whatever. Yeah, we ain't going to talk nothing about that just yet. Yeah.
So Samuel, I'm not familiar, and neither is Rick, with that Stream Deck. So you're going to have to elaborate on that because
Stream Deck.
No idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have the comments up. I could probably answer it.
I can't
pull it up.
say about a Stream Deck. I was going to
Ladies
show
and
it.
gentlemen, please welcome a singer smart enough to never quit their day job.
Oh, look who it is.
What did Samuel ask about a Stream Deck?
Better late than never.
Hell yeah.
What's up? Oh, he was just Samuel was just asking if Rick had a Stream Deck, and I've never heard a Stream Deck, and neither has Rick. So
A Stream Deck, essentially, look at your Rode mixer. You see the pads on there. A Stream Deck is a bunch of pads that you can make your computer. You assign functions to them.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
push the button on the Stream Deck, and you can do anything. You can launch a freaking space shuttle with it. You can do every task you want.
Is it just sound effects, or is it different chores?
Tasks on your mixer, it's only sound effects. On a Stream Deck, you can make it do anything. So it could literally come on and go live. If you push one, you could do anything you want with it.
I thought you guys were using a Stream Deck
on the
for.
backside, because man, this goofy bill makes it hard to wear it forward. Because I usually wear my hat rounded a little bit.
Yeah, Joe bought like the flat bill hats because he's gangster like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Mafia.
See, I told you he's not from Canada.
We were just discussing, Bill. Do you think his name really is Joe?
No.
He was gonna show us his license, and then what happened?
Oh, he conveniently left it in his car. No, I guarantee there's something weird about that dude.
I think he's a sec.
There's something. It's weird. Like, we don't know. I have no idea where he lives. I don't even think his phone number that he gave me is a real number. I never tried to call it.
You know what?
I texted it.
Canada, maybe he's hiding from the CIA. Maybe.
I thought that, but you'd think he'd stay off of YouTube then.
Well, he's trying to use his glasses for facial recognition,
might
but
not
he
be
screwed up on the
Canadian.
last one.
He might not be. He really, oddly enough, does not know enough about the Mounties to be.
How do we know that he lives in Canada?
You don't.
You know,
That's
we
true.
could call him.
That's
We
true.
could Bluetooth it through the road.
Oh, we
You
can
guys wanna
call him
call-
live?
You guys, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We can.
Wait, you have his number?
That's the best
Yeah.
idea. I have a
I have
number.
his number?
You want it?
I talk to Joe probably once a week.
What the?
Hold on. Let me send it to you.
I got it.
This
You wanna
number's
type
a
it and put it
gold
up on the
because
screen?
I can't remember
Yeah.
how I got it, but I didn't get it directly from Joe because he won't do that.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I think. How did you get it, Rick?
I ain't talking about that. I don't want to sell the person out.
It was me.
Joe can't.
Okay.
Rick was like, I don't really know Joe's number, so then I put Rick and Joe on a text message like, "Hey Joe, Rick needs to know your number, and I'm not playing games here, so here it is."
So I get a phone call the other day from Ted, and my phone rings, and I hear Ted on the phone, and I go, "Oh, Adam must have given my number." I didn't even know. I just figured the only person I know that has my number that Ted knows. I go, "Yeah, Adam must have given me my number." And then me and Ted talk.
It says Ontario.
Oh, you got it now, Chris.
I
bet.
do.
I don't give out. I think I monitor who I give the numbers out to.
This is awesome.
There we go.
This is like
We're
crank
calling.
anchors.
Yeah, because if Adam truly wanted to be mean,
Ask him if his fridge is running.
Tom or something.
I'd know. I'd give your number to Molly.
He's not going to answer it.
Yeah.
He's screening his calls.
What?
Tom's
He's not going to answer,
You have reached the voicemail box of
just in case.
just
That,
Oh.
that voicemail did sound fellow like kind of Canadian.
What if
we
that
can- let's
voicemail
leave a
says a
voicemail.
different name?
Yeah, I think it's recording now. Hey,
Does that-
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
If that's really your name,
Yeah.
It's not.
this is the crazy crew. We're just calling to see what you're doing and whether this phone number is any good or not. Because
No. It's to one of his burner phones. He's probably got 10 burner phones.
you know what we could do. I always love doing this to some of my other friends. We just talk and just run up the freaking voicemail as long as we can until it says it's done.
Just let it roll.
Yeah,
Just let it
it's
roll.
It's rolling right now.
Yeah. He won't.
Where are
listen
you
to
at,
it.
Joe? Why ain't you answering your phone? Are you there? Can you pick up?
I want to know why he wouldn't show us his driver's license.
That's
Yeah.
super top secret bat line right now.
And why him
may
and
have
his
to
brother
suspend
both
his
use
life.
secret names.
That is true. That is also true.
Mm-hmm.
It could be his name backwards.
And he won't even tell us what his dad does for a living or his dad's name or anything about his parents.
He may not have a dad.
And we are like, I would consider us probably his closest friends.
He might have other friends.
Which
He might be
I don't
embarrassed
know.
of you guys.
it's hard to say, honestly.
I'd be embarrassed of us.
I mean, he could be embarrassed of us. Yeah. What if that's it? Like all of his friends are like super rich dudes, and they go to hip hop.
Well, I was
clubs
kind of
all the time.
wondering that.
He's sitting in Drake's house right now, just chilling,
True.
like his feet up, you know.
And talking about the cover art for his next album.
Or
That
with
was-
Bieber.
That was pretty funny though. The other day,
Is he embarrassed of
we were
you?
talking about like, are you the son that your parents really like?
Yeah.
You're like the successful one that made it in life.
He was digging that though when we were asking his brother.
That was funny.
Hey, let me introduce you to my son. Don't you have two sons? No, just the one. Just the one right here. Who's that other guy?
died. He
No.
died when he went into HVAC.
Yeah. Like, no,
Okay.
All right,
Well,
Joe. You
bye,
ain't give us a call.
Joe.
Bye, Joe.
we hate you. Bye.
Yep. All right.
That
Bye
is your
bye.
name.
Bye-bye.
See, bye.
Bye-bye.
See,
now.
now that blows my mind. I wonder if he's just
Bye-bye.
embarrassed of us.
Gabriel Brown, that's messed up. He says Joe's on Chris Hansen's.
Well,
There.
what did
Yeah.
Joe's
Hung up.
brother call
I
us
like
when he
that.
was getting off the other day? He called us something. He called us like what?
Stinkerheads.
Lame or stupid or stinker.
No, it's like stinkerheads or something.
These
Oh
guys,
my.
something like that, I think is what he said.
It was like
These
the
guys
F word in Canada. Stinkerhead.
Can I answer a question? I'm sorry, I'm hitting your chat right now. Dylan, yeah, I've used 427A. It's just another refrigerant, man. Nothing.
Does it
Don't
have a name?
my houses. Don't listen to the, I don't know what they call it. It's made by Forain. But
Yeah, I got a quick little tidbit for you since we're speaking of refrigerants, Chris. I went to a restaurant the other day and I found a rooftop unit that one of the two stages, which was originally R22, was converted to MO99 for some odd reason. I'm guessing just because it's cheaper. And they put a sight glass on there. So two things. I'm trying to figure out, one, did they put the sight glass on there only to make sure that it was properly charged and they had a full liquid column going to the TXV, which I assume they did. Two, I've heard MO99, since it has is it isobutane in it, that it does a number on the gaskets, like the Schrader core gaskets, any sort
You're
of
supposed to
neoprene
change any of the
gaskets.
polymers when you switch over because of that. That's what they're
Oh,
using
yeah?
to push back the oil.
the sight glass is not doing anything though, because the sight glass, I understand maybe putting it on a split system that has a long line set or something, but on an air conditioner, you don't charge to just to a clear sight glass. You're going to charge to subcooling. So you're going to go like 10 degrees subcoolant on that. MO99 is another one. Okay, this is my personal opinion, but MO99 is another one of those alternative refrigerants that they want you to use because the manufacturer spread false information that you don't have to change the oil. If you read the installation instructions of any of those alternative refrigerants, they say they work best with polyester oil. If there's a high pressure drop, if there's a high rise, if there's any of this stuff, it says to convert it to polyester
Where
oil.
does one find the instructions on it?
That's the problem, though.
Yeah, it doesn't come with a jug.
People lean on the supply house, and the counter guy says, "Oh yeah, it works fine. Just mix it with 22; it'll be fine." And that's not the truth. If you call the manufacturer will say, no, you have to do it like this. But the supply houses spread false information. And I don't think it's just the supply houses. I think the manufacturers push that too, because they want to sell more refrigerants. I mean, look at Blue On. Blue On right now is struggling because they're doing anything they can to stay relevant because the price of R22 dropped so low. And
Blue On's expensive.
Yeah, and it's not worth it. And if you follow, and Blue On is one of the first ones. I will give Blue On credit. They were one of the first people to come out and say, you can't just put our refrigerant in there. You have to do all kinds of things to the system to make it work right. So at least they tell you that up front. But when you look at what you have to do to convert it to Blue On, it's not worth it. And then their selling point right now is, well, but if you want to make your unit last for another 10 to 15 years, nobody's air conditioner is going to last for more than 10 years extra with R22 in it right now.
Well, they're saying it's more efficient and it runs more better than the 22 does.
Blue On comes with a mixed oil in it already. That's the secret to the Blue On crap.
So you might as well just put some 407C in there and squirt about 6 or 8 ounces of POE oil in it and move on.
Yeah, Blue On has a lot of claims. I haven't used it. I shouldn't say I don't know everything. I've just read a bunch about it and heard from industry people.
Not going to sponsor you now.
Well, actually, I have a call in with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's supposed to call me back. We're going to talk about having him on the show.
Yeah. He's one of the main investors in Blue On, and so is
really.
There's a female actress that's a huge investor in Blue On too. It's the environmental hippie people that want it because it was this alternative green. It was going to save the world, getting rid of R22, and they just
going to save the world.
We use 422D, and I mean, my biggest problem with it, I mean, the nice reason why we went with it had probably some of the least loss of efficiency, which was like, I think, somewhere between 4 and 6%, but it runs lower head pressure, but it never fails, just like MO99. I used it once and never used it again. I think that stuff is garbage. You got to overcharge the system. Usually they're like, well, do 80% of it and then see where you're at. Hell, I have to add usually probably 10 to 20% over what the factory charge is, even calculating in the line set length.
That was my question. I couldn't fit in.
Yep. People always talk over you, man. You just got to hop in there.
80%.
They always say start at 8% of the total capacity, but you got to take your line set
too. I don't
too.
like to be rude, Rick. I don't know if you've ever seen our show, but I respect everybody, and I don't like to be rude at all.
You can see, like? I just come on Rick's show and just start talking.
Well, I mean, does it matter? You're 80%. I don't know.
No, that's where you start. That's the other thing, though, too, is there's a common.
You just go to subcooling.
With
depends on the type of metering device.
Yeah, but the common misconception was you charge it to 80% of the original charge. No, that's the starting point, and then you work your way from there.
Yeah, because it's always easier to put more in than it is to take it back out.
I had somebody. What if you have you're doing like a walk-in cooler, switching over from R22 to MO99, and it's got a receiver on it?
I'm going to go with 407C if I'm going to do that, but most likely, I'm going to do it the right way and you dump the oil and put the polyester in and move on and just do it right. If it has a TXV, now if it's got an orifice, we ain't done no conversions with the PoE switchover on, say, like a carrier with the freaking orifice tubes.
Yeah.
We don't do it on that. But if they have a TXV, yeah, we're willing to yank the compressor, dump the oil, and then put it in there. You know, I've even experimented with like a system for her cousin. They were going to throw it away. It had a leak, a real bad leak. I went ahead and I think they was saying, and even Jim Pintianto said it even on his thing where he read it off of the Honeywell site. You know, I think it's add 10% or 20% of the total charge of PoE on top of it. Mm-hmm. And I did that and it worked. It worked the whole flipping summer. I mean, sometimes I think we get a little carried away. I mean, a lot of the things that they first came out with, oh, you know, it won't mix together and it'll turn to foam and the whole thing will explode and everybody will die. And it's like, it's not quite as bad as what they say sometimes, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree it's not as bad. What did you get paid for that, Bill? What did you get paid for that?
$15 a pop right there.
Sweet.
Hey, Luke and Randy, how you doing tonight?
So let me ask you something. On the R22 system that you're converting, or that you had converted, Rick, yeah, or no, Bill, you had asked about it on a refrigeration system, right? So does the compressor have POE oil on it?
We'll say mineral.
Okay, because if it has, okay, but I'm just saying, if it has POE already in it, if it's a newer compressor, newer R22 compressors come with POE, you can use 448A. 448A uses R22 expansion valves, and that refrigerant is the new replacement refrigerant for medium temperature refrigeration right now, anyways.
Yeah, I heard that. But yeah, my thing was like, at the point of trying to use MO99, you have to go through all these various steps and pull a compressor, dump the oil, put new oil in, all this other stuff. I'm like, I'll just use 22. I mean,
that's all I do.
I'm working for multi-million-dollar franchises anyway. Like some of these big restaurant chains, it's not, I'm not working at a one-off mom and pop shop most of the time. Not to sound braggadocious, but I look at it as like, hey, I'm going to save you what, $15, and you're not going to give two craps less.
My personal experience with the big restaurant chains is I go to the facilities department once or twice a year and I say, hey, there's some alternatives to R22. These are the repercussions. This is what might happen. This is what might not happen. What do you want to do? And they say, just stick with R22. They've all told me that. Just stick with R22. R22 costs what, $400 for a 30-pound drum right now? It's super cheap.
We don't speak of that.
Yeah, that's a trade secret.
Mine costs $4,000. I don't know where you buy yours from, Chris, but if any of my customers are listening, it's $4,000.
It's probably imported from Canada.
If we don't get stuff from Canada, we import it from Mexico. Come on, dude. I'm like 4.5 hours away. So
yeah, that's true. They just toss it over the wall.
Yep.
Don't say that. I said that once. I was labeled as a racist. They said I'm a racist because I said, Yamo, toss me a jug of 22 over the wall.
Well, that sounds pretty racist. I don't know how is that racist again?
I don't know.
Because there is a wall, and you can toss things over a wall.
You can't toss them under. You could definitely not toss them under.
No, you can't. I tried.
So
and Yamo is my friend.
Rick has become the puppet master. You guys realize that, right?
And he's Mexican, though, so that does make you racist.
Yeah,
I have an aunt that's is a Mexican woman. I like Mexican people. I ain't got no problem.
Rick, if I would have known I was on a racist show, I wouldn't have come on here with your talk of Mexicans and such.
Mouse.
We did talk about Trump.
You're not responsible.
You guys are all racist.
We had a bunch of different questions down here in the comment section.
Hey, Bill, has Adam paid you yet?
No, I don't get paid.
He hasn't paid me either.
No, he pays me in materials. Like I get a shirt once a year and a hat as a bonus. If our numbers are good, I get a hat.
He promised me that I was going to get to stay at his house, but then that's not happening either now. So I don't know.
He told me I could sleep in his camper at AHR.
I don't have a camper.
I was hoping for that. I mean, that way we could
save, for that. I mean, it hasn't been officially said yet, but I'm pretty confident AHR is not going on.
So. I think they're going to extend it.
It would have been a good hangout. We would have had a great
months.
Yeah.
Well, they made it in that one email. They're like, well, how would everyone feel if we moved it a couple months out? So I was like, whatever, it'd be a little warmer.
As long as it's in the same location.
Careful, Rick. You don't want to book the wrong hotel room night again.
I was kind of hoping. I was looking forward to like following Chris around holding his T-shirts and handing them out to people.
You're gonna be my camera guy.
Yeah, we can dress like the UFC ring girls, little tight shorts.
Yes, I think the four of you guys should go do something with Adam on the job. Like you guys can be Adam's three little.
I would totally
bitches or
totally
whatever.
do that. I would
that'd be hilarious.
No money making on this freaking stream, man. We talked about politics. We did COVID. I mean, all the things they say we can't do. Dang it!
Oh well.
I'm gonna lose my freaking $3.49.
I would go with Adam on a service call, and he could introduce me as his apprentice, and I would just be the stupidest person ever. It would be so awesome.
You just want to hear Adam. God damn it, Bill! What the hell's wrong with you?
Hey, Bill, go upstairs and program the thermostat, and I'd come back down with the thermostat and be like, "What? How do you program it?"
Oh!
I am got a chunk of drywall on it still.
You reminded me. I'm not joking with you that I had a technician one time that went. Do you know the Honeywell commercial Vision Pro thermostats that are? They used to be like rectangular kind of shaped. and they have wireless capabilities. He thought it was wireless. Like he thought he was just going to not connect
Like
it.
wireless.
Like it wasn't going to be connected to the air conditioner. He literally, I go, so you wired it in? He's like, what do you mean? I goes, I just put it on the wall.
Like,
I go,
yeah.
If it's red link, you can.
No.
Cut the
You-
wires off and tuck them in the wall too.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
No, he unwired the old one and just put it on the wall. Like, what are
Wow.
you thinking? No, if you have the equipment interface with the red link one, yes, it can control wirelessly.
Yeah,
but
those
you
actually
still
do
need
really
power.
good.
You still need two wires for power, right?
Depends.
That's
I mean,
true.
like on the one I worked on, it would run on batteries, but my
Battery.
in-laws, that one did get powered off of two wires.
Well, no, I'm talking about like the nice, like the color screen one. 100%.
Yeah,
the
that
color
one had
screen
two
one, you need
wires.
power to it. If it's like the black and white,
Yeah, I'm not talking about the one you're talking about, Adam. But yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, the colored screen one, you do have to have power. Yeah.
The one we used in the commercial application, though, that one was purely.
I thought it was.
wireless.
I thought you could do batteries and then just have the Chinguses, and then you have the equipment module and it.
Yeah, I
look
wonder
at
what,
myself,
I wonder
I
what
look
the hell
at
you were
that.
looking at this whole time.
Look at this. She
I'm
got
like,
me.
what is
watered.
up there? Is there
That
a
is
spider
nice.
on the wall?
Your mom.
Your mom's on the wall?
She has been on a roll tonight. I might actually get.
Don't say it. Don't say
Lucky.
it.
Some
Might
home
be able to
cooking?
paint a picture.
Don't say it.
You guys gonna go play hide and seek?
Yeah. Cleaning service.
That's a bad.
Yep,
Is it,
yep,
is
yep.
it time for the
bad.
quarterly PM?
Yeah, quarterly. Yeah, absolutely. That's about how
Sure.
often quarterly.
Oh, where I'm at.
No, we had some questions in there. One of them was he was doing a negative pressure room, and he was wanting to ask about whether he should trap it before it goes into. I think he said a condensate pump. I mean, if you're doing something that's running a negative pressure room, you're probably in a medical operation. I would say
No,
go
he
ahead
was
and trap
saying
it.
an air handler. I think he was talking about the drain. An air handler, negative pressure drain. You should have a trap before the condensate pump.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be in a negative pressure, I thought maybe you meant negative pressure room, but yeah, anything in a negative pressure should be trapped or won't drain out correctly.
There's like a big thing. I don't know. I read everyone's pictures and crap online, and a lot of people like they insist on having traps on positive pressure too. And I think it's
And that is the dumbest ass thing I've ever seen.
and they'll argue with you like till you're blue in the face.
refrigeration equipment all the time, but that's because we don't want warm air going in the box. People don't get that one. On walk-ins, they're like, you shouldn't have a trap on that. It's like, yeah, because I don't want warm air going in the box, dummy. But I sometimes don't even want to explain that to people.
I thought it had something to do with maybe the little critters getting in there. They wouldn't want to crawl through the wall.
No, it's because you don't want warm air going in the box. But that, and if you have multiple drains piped, I can't find a damn bottle up there.
That's the reason why he has almost 90,000 subscribers.
What? I'm an idiot.
No, because he knows that warm drain there is going to cause issues. He is so
Yep.
smart.
On a freezer. Yeah.
Well, no, see, Rick, he's got so many subs because he's the total package.
He is kind of cool.
He's got
ain't
the
he?
look.
Wait, where's this show going?
He's got the talking ability. Like he can put sentences together real fast, like, and put
Well,
thoughts behind them.
People
I'm like
believe the crap that I spiel. That's why.
I'm like a leech because I got 91 people. Oop, just dropped to 88.
Oh, you lost.
Was
them.
it 91 people and then it just went to 88? Son of a biscuit,
Yeah.
bad. What the heck?
Now he realized his fame and glory, so he's peddling merch at him now.
Probably he's like, come over here. This guy, we were helping him out a little bit.
I'm about done with the whole pushing that stuff. I'm gonna stop pushing it because I'm starting to feel cringy.
No, you should actually. I mean, I
You
don't
should
think
sell
you're
like
doing
your
it
own freaking HVAC underwear. These will make you a better guy, you know?
And they could say Chingus on them.
And then you could do
Exactly.
your own
You'd
pajamas.
make some cash
The only
on
place
that.
I'd put Chingus. So
I'd buy it.
I think you should leave your drapes open too, Chris, while you're streaming.
I was surprised to see that. That's amazing.
Yeah, you
I
never
like
have
the
those
palm
open.
trees.
Wow, it's daylight there. Look at
you guys
that.
want to see palm tree?
Freaking dark as hell out here.
Yeah,
My rose garden.
that's
Ain't that
nuts.
wild? They leave the lights on over there. It's daylight outside.
Mm-hmm.
Must be
It's
nice.
freaking 10 o'clock at night here and
California.
it's dark. We're getting dark at like 8:30 already. Sucks.
They got
Does it
enough
still get?
electricity.
Does it get dark at about 8:30 over there?
Yeah, it's 7:07 right now. It'll be pretty dark by 8. So
I always
you guys
wondered
have
about
to work
that.
at all this weekend? Anybody?
I was on
Not
call.
tomorrow.
I got nothing.
I put a mini split in.
I had to change a compressor last night. I had a service call during the day, and then this morning I had to go do a York package unit, and it had a bad condenser fan motor, and all I had was a 1075 RPM, and they take the 850s or whatever. So I just put a 1075 to get me through the weekend and moved the blade up as high as I could so it wouldn't move as much air.
I just put a piece of cardboard over it.
Let her run.
Oh no, I tried. I tried to
it's 120-degree temperatures.
Yeah, it was a microchannel condenser, and I tried to spray water on it, but it retained all the water and it went off on high head pressure.
Nice.
It just stuck. And then so I even showed it I started a video on it when I was changing the condenser fan motor. I had hosed it off 2 hours before. And when I was done changing the condenser fan motor, the unit had been off for all that time. I turned it on. It was still full of water. I had to go get my blower because the water just gets sucked into that and just retains in the microchannel.
Man.
Bill made a video about that once upon a time.
I think I did.
Bill who?
So did I steal that from you, Bill?
No, I probably stole it from you.
I don't know who I heard
it a lot. Man, it's been so slow at work. I haven't had like anything cool to film. Plus, I've been working with a sort of a new guy for a while. I've had nothing good.
You ought to take him with you and make a video with him in the video. And then quiz him. And then make a video of it.
No. If I did, you'd know why I don't want to do that.
You let who work for you?
What work boots are you guys wearing?
Rockies.
Rockies?
I don't know, dude. I have that pair of Rockies right here, never been worn, sitting right
Man, I got 3 brand new pair. Well, I'm wearing 1 new pair, and then I got 2 spares still in the box because I like to have backups in case I have a blowout one day.
I have a blowout on mine right now, and I need to order a bunch. What about you, Adam?
I am currently wearing
Crocs.
Timberland's like slip-on boots with steel toe, but I think I'm going to go back to Red Wing.
Yeah, the Timberlands didn't last.
My Timberland Pros last me 6 months.
Timberlands feel great. But they're cheaper. They was like 140 to 150 ish, but the dang things didn't last even a tenth. Yet my Red Wings, I buy the Gore-Tex added, which pushes it up to about $250. And I have flat feet, so I've got a lot of issues that the shoe doesn't have the orthopedics and all the crap in it. So I go with the ones. It's a classic style. It's their softest one. It's a medium top, and I don't go with the hard toe, but $250. That thing will last me a full year and a half, and then I'll get it resold one time. Then I'll get about 2.5 years out of it.
I bought a pair of those. I don't know the model of the Red Wings, but the classic style looks. You know, with the sort of the white sole and the. I'm sure if I had a picture of them, you'd recognize them. But man, those things just shrunk up on me. Like the leather shrunk up on me.
They probably ain't made in America.
I have the Red Wing slip-on cowboy boot style with the square toe, just for personal wear. And but they're really narrow and they hurt my ankles. So the boot, because when you buy Red Wings, you have to get the stupid weird people that come and check your shoe size and fit them and all that crap, which is weird. But even after they did that, did you guys have to go through that whole process? Were they going to measure your feet and crap?
No, I think they're just one of your YouTube fans, and
they wanted to touch his feet. They were worshiping him at his feet.
Stand on a machine that like laser measured my feet.
I did that with the orthotics.
Did he have to put his toes in your toes in his
nose? This actually worked. I'm really surprised.
No, he didn't. Yeah, I didn't let him touch it. It's not no freaking Mr. Deeds crap with the Butler guy. Want to touch everybody's feet.
The most comfortable boots I've ever worn my entire life, which they're kind of goofy looking, were the Red Wing Irish Setters.
That's the one I have. But
I think that's the one that I had.
Super comfortable.
I thought those were their cheaper model, though.
I don't know. They felt so good. I don't know.
The ones I got were $350, and then within 6 months they shrunk down so much I couldn't even wear them.
Nah, screw that. I'm not paying that kind of money.
No, I pay $120 for my Rockies. I get at least a year out of them before the heel starts blowing out.
Dude, the toes? See, but my toe, like in the past, the toes used to wear out real quick, but now I get the ones that have that rubber crap on the toes.
Oh, not mine. These Rockies. I mean, I get the wide because I got a wide foot. I got a size 15 extra wide boot, and they hold up pretty good.
So, because I'm going through, so right now I'm looking at a couple different boots. I'm looking at some Keens, some Ariats, some Justins. I'm going to do Wolverines.
Wolverines are kind of cheap unless you get in the really high end ones. I worked at an Anderson's, which sold those things, and they weren't too bad.
I'm going to do a couple different ones, and I'm going to try them out. But I've always been a Timberland Pro Boondock. They're super light, super comfortable. They got pretty good slip resistance. They've always done me really well.
I always see something about those Danners, which I think is what the military uses.
But they also got to look decent too. Like I was looking at boots today, and like we have a place called Boot Barn, they just have a bunch of boots and stuff. And I was going through their website, and you can like click the criteria, but like for instance, I can't remember what brand they were, but they have like this red labeling on the back that says the manufacturer of the boot. And I'm like, that looks stupid to me. I don't want my boots to be flashy. So
Unless they're going to pay you for it.
Interesting.
no, I wouldn't even do that, dude. People couldn't pay me to wear freaking boots.
Although,
I mean, I'm not.
This video
I'm
is
not gonna
brought to you
say
by
no.
yeah,
Red
send an
Wing.
email to
Rocky.
hvacrp@gmail.com and we'll talk about it.
If Red Wing wants to sponsor me, I'll wear their shrunk down, expensive ass boots.
Now, there's one person in the chat that says something about Carolinas.
I
Carolina.
had those. Those
My
were
dad
decent.
has worn those forever, and he worked in a factory as a machinist and was on his feet the whole time, and that's all he ever wears as a machinist. But I think my work footwear has y'all beat because I can spend $20 or less on a pair of Crocs, and I'm golden for the whole year. And that's all I need. It's just a pair of Crocs, and I can do
Crocs are
surgery
not
in
allowed in my
those.
house. Crocs are not allowed in my house. Period. Like I don't even let my kids get them.
Mine aren't the cheesy looking ones though. Mine are the really cute ones because I don't get the ones with holes in them because if I do surgery, you know, I don't want blood in, you know,
She's trying to take us off the air.
amniotic fluid, you know, getting in my socks because that'd be kind of gross. But Crocs for me, they don't hurt my feet, they don't kill my back, and I can stand and do a 2-hour C-section without moving, and I'm good.
Well, there you have it.
Crocs on my service calls now.
Being none of us
There you
can
go.
wear those at work, that'll work out great.
Yeah. it'd be
So
perfect.
we have to take back all the crap we talked about someone wearing Crocs in service call videos now.
Oh, I
No.
know.
Was there somebody that did? Oh,
But
I
why would
did
you do
that.
that?
I've
I'm
got
sure
a
I've
lot
done
of
that.
viewers lately. They're in India, and I had one guy. He's in Turkey, and I'm like, how?
Don't trust the guy that says he wants to send you all that money from India.
Why?
It doesn't work. Trust me.
No.
What do you mean?
The only way you get it is if you send him
Go
money.
stop the check.
Yeah.
There, a couple people are saying in the chat, Vlogger had all of his tools stolen out of his van. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't like pretty much every HVAC company have inland marine insurance on their trucks where everything inside of the trucks are covered as well too?
I do now. After about 8 years ago, when I got my van ripped off, and they got $20,000 worth of stuff in about 8 minutes. That's when truck locks went on every one of my vans, and we got inland marine coverage because we realized that our insurance didn't cover it.
I've had it since day one.
Yeah,
I would think if it's like a company that's been around for a while, they probably all this.
Yeah, well-established company.
Right.
Well, my shit got stolen, and they offered
Out
if
of
I
our
couldn't get
driveway.
it out of my driveway,
Mhm.
and my
My van
homeowners
got
covered
broken
it.
into twice, and nothing ever got stolen. The first time was at Wendy's in the drive-thru in the middle of the day, and I saw him breaking into it, and I walked out there with a hammer, and the two guys were throwing shit in a car. They started throwing shit from the car back in the van. We're like, oh, we didn't know, and then they drove off. I'm like, what the hell just happened here? I mean, there's two of them. I
We
couldn't.
didn't know. We thought it was our van.
I couldn't. Yeah, I'm like, so the one guy was throwing shit in the back into the van. The other guy ran around to the car, took the license plate off his own car, and then sped off. And then the second time, somebody just broke my window, and that was it. They didn't steal anything.
So on the Chevy vans, it's so even on the Ford vans too, it's so easy. On the Ford vans, you could pop the tail light out or the third brake light, and you
Why
used
don't
to
we
be able.
not talk about how to break into service trucks?
It's YouTube, dude. Just go on YouTube. You can learn how to break into any van. You need to know how to, so that way you know how to secure your crap. But the
I
Chevy,
have a cordless grinder. There ain't a damn van safe out there. I can
Well,
get
and
the
that's
rough.
the
Also
thing.
talking
Like, I
about
have
pedophiles yesterday
truck
or Friday.
yeah, I have. Go ahead, Bill. Just
I
stepping
would
all.
say just breaking into vans and pedophilia and
Oh, my bad.
Politics.
politics.
Were we
Yeah.
talking about how pedophilia is okay now?
Mhm.
Yeah, in California.
Conceal carry, you know.
Not in California, though.
Yeah, not in California.
I just
Yeah.
bought an extra in the waistband clip holder.
Ooh.
Oh, you called it a clip. You don't know nothing about guns. You should get
It's
rid of
in
it.
the waistband magazine holder.
Oh yeah, I
Boom.
know. That one too. I think
My
I've
wife
said
knew it.
before.
Boom.
I said
Take
clip,
that.
and
You
we
gotta
got like
understand something.
million comments.
Phil's
because-
from the ghetto.
Yeah, I call it a clip.
He's from Detroit.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to talk about stuff like that on YouTube.
There goes your monetization.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything is illegal in California. I can't even have an automatic knife.
That's the best one out there.
Here.
It's
I
called
can't even
a-
have.
that one.
This is illegal, highly illegal. in
See now,
California.
Now, Rick, you got my interest. So, do you? Okay, I'm not going to ask, but let's just.
This is a stoner holster.
It's stoner. It's made right here in Ohio.
It's amazing.
I can wear this thing all day. I wore this to church.
What if
and
you're
it was
laying
fine.
down on your back? Because there's no thumb strap on there.
You
Well,
don't need it.
It's a Glock, so it don't matter.
What do you
That's
mean?
one of many.
saying
It's a Glock.
will it fall
Yeah,
out?
yeah, it won't fall out. I've had
Okay.
mine fall
It
out.
doesn't matter. You can throw it across the room and it won't go off.
Yeah, but if it falls out and you don't notice, you get up and
It's not going to
But it
fall out.
doesn't.
It's not going to fall out. Not the way this thing fits in there. That's why I like it. I mean, the way
I
it
can
stops.
I can wear that inside like yoga workout pants,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't. And I don't wear belts or anything like that, and it doesn't come out.
I wore it at the fair on that little thingy that goes upside down, and it didn't come out.
I had
Rick,
mine
when you're wearing
fall
your
out one
yoga
time,
pants,
and
does it come out?
That's a good one.
I can do it with just underwear when I go out at the middle of the
Prove
night
it.
because I thought
Right
When
now,
he goes out in his underwear,
No, Bill. No. No. No.
I'm not looking
because he
away.
will.
Well, this is getting
Bill,
interesting. He's not
Bill's
even
like,
drinking.
I'm watching.
Yeah.
We are just really.
well, the belt I wear is actually a duty belt. So I mean, it's
Look at this is what I'm saying. Look
He
at
said duty.
look at the viewers and look at the conversations we're having.
Oh,
I
we
am
had
about
100.
ready. Did we have 100?
Oh, we did.
We're having
Oh, I don't even care.
conversation and
Well, we
people
have 99. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button there if you
We're-
want to keep seeing
Yes,
stuff
it
like
is.
this.
It is an all leather holster.
When did we go live?
You would have been
We're
able.
live?
You would have been
Oh,
able
Chloe
to
Oh,
do your
shoot.
job.
I didn't even know we were live yet.
Chloe must have hit the button.
Yeah,
Hey,
she's
back to-
depressed.
Back to guns. Is that a Glock 1911 you carry?
No,
Glock doesn't make a 1911.
that is
I have a
the-
1911.
That's a 40.
Not by Glock.
That's the Glock 43, which is like the
Boom.
super subcompact.
She never shot a gun before
9
coming
millimeter.
along.
I carry the Glock 42,
I'm gonna
which
go
is a
upstairs and get my
380.
Glock
And then we also have compact.
or 911.
Let's not give an inventory of what we
Right?
got.
Or is there wait?
The,
No,
the Glock
let's
always
not give
kind
it
of
a-
like worried me a little bit on like the trigger safety. You know,
That's what I like about it.
But you don't need it.
you don't
You
need
don't,
that.
you don't need that. Keep your finger off the trigger, and you're not going to do and not
Now,
have intentional firing.
It does still have a little bit of a trigger pull, but it's you can do a trigger job on it, and it's not as many pounds. Like you can change out the trigger to adjust how many pounds of pressure you want on it.
See, I
Yeah,
still
all mine
prefer
have
a
got
thumb
ghost
safety
triggers.
on mine.
See,
do
that
have-
when you're in a panic situation like that, you're not going to have time to screw around with that. Like when I first started carrying, I ended up never carrying it in the chamber ready to roll.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have time. I mean, chances are that if, it's like they say, I mean, if you fire on somebody that's further than probably 5 feet from you or even 3 feet from you, you're probably going to go to jail for murder. So, I mean, it's got to be on you right then and there. So, I mean, it's one of them things where you ain't got time to load or anything else.
Well,
But-
I mean,
they're firing back if they have a gun, right? So
Yeah, well, like there's a couple of really good channels on YouTube. Never draw while you're already been drawed on, because I mean they showed multiple times people getting killed by doing that, and it's a matter of like
Yeah, it's probably
basically-
instinct.
Yeah.
You got to fight your own
you can't.
instinct.
I mean, this one cop in this one video did it, and I mean he stapled him right in the head, and he just boom, and they were using that as the example. I'm trying to think of which it's in my favorites or whatever.
One
But
of
it
the guys
sounds-
said getting a Kydex holster.
I don't
we
like
We don't
Kydex.
like those, believe it or not.
No, they actually eat up more room in your waistband than anything else.
Yeah, I normally carry an alien gear holster because it's nice.
And that's a
it's got
really big monster too.
It's got a nice wide thing to it, and it sort of, I don't know, it's pretty comfortable for me. But I just recently switched over to a smaller one that's got the thumb snap on it because I was working on my back a couple of times, and I've had it. I just carry a little EC9, and it fell out one time. I'm like, yeah, I can't ever have that happen. Not
No.
ever.
Well, it'll fit right in your bag too. I mean, like even whatever bag I use, that one there,
LCP 380.
TPL.
Oh no, you're talking about the bag.
Yeah, it's I forget what it is.
See,
But
another
yeah,
one. Another one that's good is Ruger. I got a little Ruger LCP 380, and it comes with a nice, teeny tiny little pocket holster. That one's kind of neat to carry.
I just don't like we got a 380 one of them, but the damn ammo is so expensive, and if I would have known that they were going to come out with it, I would have never bought her one. But I don't know. I don't ever get rid of anything once I buy it because that's like unless it's going to go to a dealer. But,
I got it
yeah.
just for the pocket.
I think I told this story once before, but there was a Facebook group it was like a waffle group where they raffled off different things all the time. They were doing tools for a long time. HVAC tools, and then they did a side group where they started doing guns and knives and things. And I won a 380 in the waffle group or whatever. And the dude went to transfer it to me, and I went to the gun store to pick it up. And the guy goes, "Did you check to see if it was an approved California 380?" And I go, What could be not approved by about a 380? And he goes, "You'd be surprised." And so he pulls it up. He pulls up the gun and he looks at it. He goes, "Yeah, this gun's not on the approved list." And I go, "What's not approved about a 380?" And he said, and he's looking and he goes, "It's the color." Literally, you could have it in chrome and it was approved, but the black one wasn't approved.
Black is scary.
Wow.
So I
no
couldn't get a
sense.
380 because of that. And that's actually why I have this knife right here, because I got this knife instead of the 380.
Because chrome
but
puts more
when I went to
gangster.
New York,
That's
you're not
why.
even allowed to have a freaking knife.
Black
I mean, that was the horrible thing about going to New York. I mean, I had to go there defenseless.
go to
because
jail
if I
for having
took,
a knife in New
yeah,
York.
See, I only
I can have it in my
visit
house.
states
I
where I
just
can
can't carry
carry
it out of my house.
that's why I like my Leatherman. But yeah,
Black guns cause cancer in California.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They shoot, what did that one guy say? They shoot a couple thousand rounds a second, I think is what the one moron said.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
When
you
that was
Some of
it was amazing.
some of those people are silly.
Interesting.
There was a Facebook meme from many years ago, and I saved it. And what did it say? It said it was a guy standing in front of a place, and it said "guns kill people" or something like that. And then there was a guy trolling him, standing right next to him, that says "spoons should be outlawed. They make people fat."
Spoons make people fat.
Yeah, or something like that. And it's like that's that same mentality. Guns don't kill people. It's the dumbass pulling the trigger.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Or some of the strictest gun laws are Chicago area, and they freaking have the highest murder rate.
Yeah.
Every weekend. But it's all the other states' fault because they're bringing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Indiana.
Well, you know what? It wasn't a Glock 1911. It was a Glock just
Well,
19 or something, I think.
Glock don't make
There
a
you go.
1911.
It's a Glock 19.
Yeah, Glock 19.
There you
Calm
go.
down,
That's
Rick.
the-
Calm down. Gee,
That's
your
the
middle
that's
name
the
Glock.
Yeah, Gaston Glock.
Oh my
Started
goodness.
out with freaking silverware and stuff.
I even just corrected myself, and that wasn't even good enough for him.
It's
What
an
is-
ugly
what
gun,
is
but it's
black?
reliable.
Like Austrian
Yeah,
or
it is.
something?
Yeah,
Austria. Well,
Austria.
this one's made in America, and I'd rather have the Austrian one.
I remember when I got my CCW, the instructor like threw it in the dirt and was rubbing it in the dirt, and then he pulled it out and just like started shooting with it. He was like, "See how reliable it is?" I'm like, "Wow." I didn't know nothing about guns at the time.
I watched
but
YouTube video galore on them before I bought it, and I mean, it's funny because I mean they have all the accessories in the world, and even though there's hardly anything to it, and I mean I went to the gun show and it was like, "What do you got there? What do you got there?" And it's like freaking Glock. You know, you can get it and maybe lose $25 after you had it for 5 or 10 years. I mean, it's stupid. But,
is yours
yeah.
all metal, or does it have the polymer grip, like the polymer?
All of them are polymer grips.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting. They don't make a full metal one, like a big old heavy.
Nope.
Bill, I
Interesting.
think you got ripped off.
Dude, you don't have a Glock.
You're all metal 1911.
I do have a Glock.
Your 1911 Glock. Stop buying stuff at the flea market, Bill.
It's literally the gun I keep under my bed. It's my
I think
house gun.
did Yamo send you that gun? 'Cause
It's too big to carry.
Now
I mean,
Chris is racist. There we go. Man, oh man.
yeah. Well, I kind of already knew that, but
That reminds me of the Fast and Furious scandal that never happened in somebody else's administration. So yeah, we ain't gonna
Fast
talk
and
about
Furious.
that. Yeah, that's what it was called when they took all these illegal guns. Oh yeah, they took a bunch of illegal guns down to Mexico, and a border agent actually got killed. That happened under the last administration because they were trying to make guns look bad so they could get them banned. Yeah, that was great.
You know, I will say this: no matter what president has ever run, there's always somebody that says that guy's going to take our guns, whatever side it is,
Yeah,
whoever it is.
True.
Somebody's all like, "They're going to take our guns." I'm like, nobody's ever going to take our guns. Are you serious? Like, it's never going to happen. There would be such an uproar.
Ask
I
New
mean-
Jersey about that. They're not allowed to have their AR-15s anymore.
I think
No one turned them in.
I think the NRA finally gave up on sending me. Do you guys get stuff? Are you guys members of the NRA?
No,
I
don't
was,
get-
and I'm not no more because they nagged the shit out of me, and then they ended up backing down on the bump stocks. They backed down on a bunch of crap, and it's like, screw you guys. You're just another money making opportunity. I'm done with it.
Like 15 or so years ago, I signed up for a lifetime membership, and every so often they'll be like, just give us an extra $100 and we'll give you a status up or whatever. And it's like,
and a sticker.
I did it like one time to bump up your life membership to something a higher level. And I'm like, oh no, I'm like a really, I'm like, this is ultimate.
Life,
Like 6 months later, they send you something else to bump it up again. I'm like, whoa. How many
They were
levels we got
nagging.
here?
They were nagging. They were nagging like crazy. I donated to the trooper fund, state trooper fund, and I was like, yeah, we'll do that. And then they almost insisted I give more money or just do it again. And I'm like, all right, I'm done with you. And I just got a ticket from a state patrolman that before
Hey,
that.
Rick,
So
do you carry? I forget exactly what it's called, but it's some sort of insurance.
yes,
that
I
you
do.
like if you shoot somebody that it kicks in and lawyers
U.S.
and
Concealed
everything.
Carry Association. I'm a member of that, and that's probably the cheapest plan they've got out there. So for, I think I got the $300,000 plan, and it's like $11 a month, and they will give me expert witnesses. They'll pay for my bail. They'll get me, lawyers. I mean, all that, because bad things can happen.
Oh yeah,
And
no. If you ever have to defend yourself, like the media just wants to take whatever you've done and twist it, and that's what they'll do.
Well, speaking of which, have you guys been following that Kenosha thing?
I've heard of it.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, the
Is
shooter.
that the one where the guy got shot in the back because he was reaching into a car to potentially get a knife? When he had his kids in the car when he didn't listen to the
No,
cops?
it was after
Oh,
the
okay.
protest. I'm talking about the kid who was like 17.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. Some of it.
So, like they were saying, which I get it. All right, my point is that should he have gone there with a gun? Like he said, he was protecting all the businesses in that. I'm like, you're an idiot. Yeah, you're an idiot. You're kind of looking for trouble in a way. But then you watch like the video, and they say the first shot was by somebody else shooting at him, and everyone was kind of attacking him. Yeah, he did kill people, but people were attacking him. People were attacking him, and
Wasn't he not even from there though?
No, he was from Illinois. He worked in Kenosha.
Like 2 hours away or something in another
It was
state.
his
Supposedly he
state
worked
though.
in Kenosha.
No, he was in the state next to it, but he crossed the state lines for 2 hours and supposedly didn't take his gun though. He used someone else's gun.
Oh,
But,
because usually you
again,
gotta be 18.
it's everything. So
Right.
you never know.
The thing is, like, should he have been there? Should he have been doing that? Should he have been carrying a gun? I think absolutely not.
Nope,
But
you're just
by
asking
all
for trouble.
by all rights, they were attacking him. The crowd was attacking him. They really were attacking him.
And if you look at it, it was a massive mob mentality because if you look at what was happening, so a confrontation happened. He started to run. I think he was being chased by someone or something like that before he shot anybody, I believe, if I understand things correctly. And he started to run, and then something happened. He got tackled. He shot a couple people, and then he started to run again, I think, if I remember right. And people were chasing him again, and new people were screaming, "Hey, stop that guy! That person, hey, stop that guy! He just shot someone." So that person that started chasing him then had no idea if he really shot someone, just started chasing him to tackle him. And it's
Yeah.
like,
They
so
They
the
could have
mob-
thought he was a domestic terrorist.
yeah, who knows? And it was just a mess. It's a sticky
I mean,
situation.
if you look at pictures of the situation and or videos, multiple people in the crowd had guns and the whole situation was bad. And I'm not saying anyone was at the right. I think they're all out for trouble. And by all rights, there was a curfew. Nobody was supposed to be there, period.
Exactly.
Nobody was supposed to be there. So should you feel bad for the guys that got shot? In a way, they were provoking it. And I'm sorry, if somebody has a gun, I'm not going to provoke them and try to grab a gun out of their hands. You are looking to die if you do that, right?
Yeah.
That's my
Because you might use it on them. I mean, you don't know that.
Yeah, it's a shit storm either way. Pardon my French, but it's just a mess.
I
So
don't hang around anybody that open carries.
Yeah, we're legal to do that in our state, but you're just asking for
Yeah,
problems.
same here.
I have contemplated getting my concealed carry. I've gone back and forth, but the biggest thing that makes me not want to get it is the legal disaster in California if I was to shoot someone. And I understand you have the insurance and that's great, but man, the legal disaster of
Drag your life through the
don't
mud.
even want that responsibility. I just don't even want to.
Well,
But you got to remember, why did you do it? You thought you truly were going to die, so you have nothing to lose. That's why you've got to be.
absolutely true.
That's
I was
determining.
reading a post on Twitter about that kid in Kenosha from a politician, and they said that he is, I believe it was something like a Trump supporter, racist, that was carrying illegal firearms and had like whatever, and it was like you cross state lines with his gun and this and that. There was nothing true about that.
Right.
It was his friend's gun from Kenosha. He works in Kenosha. He went there, and there was like videos of him, people talking to him there, and he's like, "I'm just protecting the businesses." He's like, "I support Black Lives Matter." Blah 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 blah. And like, I love how people just completely make up their own narrative about bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying the guy's right. I don't think he should have shot anyone.
That's why I don't even watch the news, because your opinion is swayed no matter whatever channel you watch. You watch Fox, it's going to get swayed this way. You watch ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever, it's going to get swayed another way. It's however the media wants to manipulate their crowd to get them to believe what they want.
And
I don't even bother.
I was gonna say, in California, it's just such a legal nightmare. Like, if I literally defend my home, I'm at risk. I mean, you can shoot someone that's drunk that accidentally comes in your house, but you don't know it was an accident, and it'll end up being my fault. The family will come back. You may not go to prison for the killing of him, but I will get sued by his entire family, and I will have to pay because they said that he was drunk, or he didn't know what was going on. You should have given him a chance. Or
I almost drew on an Amazon employee last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, because it was like a little after 10 o'clock, and somebody comes stomping up on my porch at night. And I hear somebody stomping up on my porch, and then there was nothing, like no knock on the door and nothing, and then a thud. And I went to the door, and I mean, I had it by the table. I didn't actually have it in my hand or nothing. Then I clicked the light on and opened the door real fast, and I'm like, oh, there's a package there, and the little reflective vest walking back away in their whatever car. Like, man, that is kind of dangerous.
Yeah, they deliver in unmarked cars.
Yeah.
I was still young. I was 24, 23. I drew my gun. It was the only time that I ever drew my gun, and I feel so ashamed and embarrassed by it. But we had a power outage at our house, and we purposely left the light on downstairs so that way when the power went on, because I had my refrigerator plugged into a generator. It was a planned power outage. So when the lights turned on, my wife woke me up, and she went to go downstairs to go do something, and I went the other way to do something. And then she came back to me and she goes, "There's a car in the driveway." And I go, "There's a car in the driveway? What the hell?" And it wasn't our car. I'd never seen it before. I didn't recognize it. And then all this stuff starts going through my head of, this is the perfect way for someone to rob my house. There's a power outage. They parked their car in my driveway. The neighbors aren't going to think anything. Like, I'm going through the most horrible things. So again, I would have been in so much trouble because I had my gun. I went outside. I went to the car. I went looking in the car. There was nobody in it. My stomach dropped. Where's this person at? I went in the house, and then I turned the corner, and then I came back again because I'm like, okay, where's the person? And I went and looked again, and someone popped up out of the floorboard, scared the crap out of me. It was he was sleeping in the floorboard. It was my brother. My brother decided to come up to my house. He got a new car, didn't tell me. He didn't wake me up. He was sleeping in my driveway. And
that's how people get shot.
And I had my gun, and I felt like the biggest idiot in the world. And I told my brother, I go, "Dude, wake me up. Like, I'll give you the key. You can come to my house. Like, don't just sleep in my driveway."
Text or something.
Yeah. And he had just, he's a federal agent. And so he said, "Well, who do you think would have drew first?" And I'm like,
yeah, he's like, he would have totally got you, Chris. You'd have been
dude,
dead.
I know he would have, but I just told him, I was like, dude, I feel like such a big, and I never drew my, that was the only time. And I felt like the biggest.
You've been like firing in the air and around the car, and he would have shot you like 4 times.
Yeah, exactly. But
make sure you guys hit that thumbs up out there before you leave, because this video probably will not be up after we get done with it.
I had a gun drawn on me before.
I drew a gun once.
It was scary.
I never have.
This was approximately probably 15 years ago, and we had this dude who he was affiliated with some venue. We played there, and we told him we were losing our practice space. He's like, "I'm like a bachelor. I'm never home. Half the time I'm not even sleeping there. I'll give you guys keys. You could practice here whenever you want. Come and go as you please." Okay. So one Friday we had a show, and we were going there. We just showed up, and we started like packing up all our stuff and everything. And I turned around, and there was a gun like right between my eyes. I'm like, "What the crap?" He's like, "I didn't know who you guys didn't tell me you were coming." I'm like, "That's kind of what goes along with come and go as you please, right? Like, I didn't know, like, you said come whenever you want, but yeah." So
yeah,
that's a different kind of crowd right there.
There's my brother, before he was a federal agent, he used to work for us, and he had just graduated boot camp in the Marine Corps. He was still working for us before he got, deployed or whatever. And he was working in a restaurant, and he turned the corner, and the armored security, the people that come and get the money out of the safe or whatever, they were turning the corner too, and the guy got jumpy and pulled his gun on my brother. He violated everything. And my brother had just graduated boot camp too. And my brother, I remember talking to him after, and he goes, I was going to take the gun from him. He goes, I just graduated boot camp. That's what we were trained to do. He goes, I was going to take the gun from the guy. And he goes, I'm glad I didn't, because it wouldn't have been good. But it's one of those things. Armored security guy just turned the corner. He had no business pulling his gun. My brother wasn't doing anything wrong. He was working in the restaurant. The guy just got startled. But yeah, that wouldn't have been a good situation either.
Hey, anybody notice, like about 10 minutes ago, it instantly got dark at Chris's house?
Yeah, it happens quick.
Wow. That's nuts, man.
It did get dark.
Hey, hold on, man. Let's back this bitch up.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch
Close
this.
those curtains there, Chris, or else you might have a peeping.
Who's that dude like looking in your freaking window there?
That's Molly.
He's got fans out there.
Definitely.
Call him, buddy.
Definitely Molly. Molly, and Molly is also known as Total Tech.
Oh, yeah? You going to patch her through on your mixer?
I don't want her to have my number.
So, Bill, how's the pepperoni emails coming?
Not as bad. I mean, by bad, I mean good. Not as good as I was hoping.
So,
no
you're not
selfies.
getting any like really hilarious ones?
I got some pretty gross ones.
Oh.
Not really hilarious.
Things that make you go, ooh.
Well, let's just say that
thumbs, you got 4 downs. That's pretty good.
Some people put pepperonis where they don't need to go.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, I came back into the tiniest thing here. So
I'm going to double check right now and see if I got any more.
Where did you put your pepperoni?
Yeah, see, I don't have any more. That was it.
No more pepperoni?
I just got like 3. No more.
That's kind of disappointing.
Okay, sausage?
See, I was hoping for selfies. That was the thing. You got to send me selfies. If you're going to be gross, send me a selfie.
I just got to walk in freezer.
Don't do it, Chris. Send the other guy.
Okay, other guy. I don't have any other guy.
I think he is the other guy.
Send your helper.
They charge $800 an hour on holidays.
He's still counting his money from the pressure change out for my
holiday until
Exactly.
Can't you get your dad to go do it, Chris?
My dad hasn't worked in 10 years.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
So are you just on call 24/7, Chris?
Technically right now I'm on call 4 weeks out of every 4 weeks. And then my one tech that's still with us is on call for the other week right now.
He's an asshole. Nobody wants to work for him.
Man.
Yeah.
I have the same problem, asshole syndrome.
See, I thought my rotation of like once a month was bad.
No, my normal rotation was I did 3 weeks on, and then I had the one guy that's off on disability right now, and then the other guy. So I was 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off. But now that the guy that hurt himself is out, then I'm 4 weeks on now and 1 week off.
So was he doing something stupid?
I honestly don't know the true answer. It wasn't on work, so I'm super happy right there. It had nothing to do with work. So it was on personal time, but I don't know the severity. I just know that he fell on something. I don't know if it detached his calf muscle or if he ripped through his calf muscle, but I know that he had to have emergency surgery and he's got a cast on, and I don't know for how long. So
Brad wants to know what's your favorite type of customer. My favorite type of customer is the kind of customer that's easy to get along with,
and
that you
spends
can
money.
he trusts you and he's easy to talk to, and you kind of have something in common with them, and you build the relationship with them, and you do the job, and they repeat business with you, and
They accept your recommendations without an argument.
I mean, I've got customers that got my cell phone that, because he has an ice cream stand, he'll text me and say, hey, I'm having issues with this machine. Something you want me to try? Yeah. And when I stop by and say hi, he gives me free ice cream and stuff. And
Very good ice cream.
I like
too.
building a good relationship with certain, businesses and stuff I work at. Like any school I work at, I'll get the maintenance guy's phone number. So when I get there, I don't have to track them down. I just call them and hey, I'm here. Where you want me to go at? What's going on? Boom. So that's that's kind of customers I like. I like ones that, you're just there to help them out type thing. You're just, helping a friend type thing instead of just they're a customer. That's the way I like it.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go. I gotta go run this call. I got an hour
make money.
drive to this
Bye,
location.
Chris. Thanks for
Hour
coming
drive.
on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
He's gonna
Yep.
make some money. Go big their ass.
Money only goes so far when you don't have a life.
That's true.
You got us, man. We're your friends.
I got so
We're-
you got
we're the
money. You
best.
never time to spend it.
That's what Amazon's for.
What was that movie from, Chris? You're the movie. Hold on. What is that song from where they say the three best friends we ever did have?
Hangover.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, hangover.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, that is a great movie too.
The Wolf Pack, I think it was.
Thanks for coming in, Rich. I appreciate you stopping in, bud.
All right, see y'all.
Yep. See you, man.
Peace.
Yep. Bye.
What does he say, y'all? That guy's not from the South.
I know.
He's originally from Mississippi.
No, Missouri.
Missouri, that's what it was.
Where's the Mason?
Louisiana.
I don't know.
I think he's north of the Mason-Dixon. He is not south. He is still.
I've met some Missourians
He's right
that
on the
seem
Mexican
to have a drawl,
border.
a little bit of southern drawl.
No.
I get made fun of all the time for the way I talk.
I've heard people tell me I have an accent. I'm like, I don't have an accent. I don't think.
Everyone knows that people from the
I'm humble.
Midwest are the normal way of talking,
Mhm.
and everywhere else has accents. That's like a
Like,
normal.
everybody else is like millimeters and centimeters, and we talk with Fahrenheits and
The
inches.
world is based around the Midwest. Let's be
True, true.
Yeah. I mean, we are the heart of it all.
We are the Earth.
Oh, it's getting deep.
Yeah.
Everybody else just rotates around us.
Mm-hmm. 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 Well, we didn't talk about HVAC much, did we?
We sure didn't.
One guy's like, well, we just talked about politics. We talked about guns.
All the good
are you going to
stuff.
talk about beer now? And I'm like, dude, we already done beer earlier. So, yep.
If we're gonna keep talking, I need to go get another alcoholic beverage because I only brought out one.
I don't know. We're 96 flipping people, man. I mean,
All right, I'm pausing my camera. I'll be back. I need to.
All right.
Get you a beer.
Go get
I'll
you
be-
a beer. I mean,
I'll
as
be
long as the
jumping
people
off here
stay, I'll
soon.
stay. I don't care. I ain't got nothing to do tomorrow.
So
I got about 15 minutes before I fall asleep.
Well, you suck, Bill. Thanks
Not
a lot,
'cause-
buddy.
So-
Not because you're
Bill-
boring, but
Well, you know.
Jason wants to know how long you've been growing out your beard.
oh shoot, it's been about 5 years now. Trimmed
That's
it
it?
twice.
You got any pictures of you without it?
A few. I've
I'd
been
be
trying to
curious to see what
destroy
you
them.
look like.
Trying to
You
destroy them.
probably
as
look
I
really
go.
young, I bet, don't you?
I do. I look like a baby.
I figured
So I
that.
don't like it. I don't like
I didn't
it.
even know you were bald until
I got a round
one time.
face.
It happens.
No,
It's
see,
okay though.
And how
male
long have you
pattern
been?
baldness.
How long have you been bald?
Since high school.
Lucky you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the very end of high school, when I had a cool mohawk, that's when I started noticing it was coming out. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Was everybody rubbing it as you were walking by and it caused it to fall out?
No, nobody touched me in high school because I was like the super big guy. I was bigger
You
than
weren't real nice.
I wasn't real nice. No, I was big and sarcastic and rude and not very nice. Had a lot of friends, but people didn't
That's-
necessarily touch me a lot.
Hey, look at here.
That's a
The
weird
dam's
time to come
dam's
back.
back. The A dam is back.
Oh, damn.
93 people still here. We didn't lose them. Bushlight.
Bush.
HVAC Overtime is brought to you by Bush Latte.
You get some natty.
HVAC overtime. We're on double time, bitches.
Some
sorry.
steel reserve.
But this
We're
is not very cold.
surviving.
This is not very cold, so I had the ice. Put a little ice on there. I gotta rehydrate while I dehydrate.
Yep. Wow.
That's classy.
That glass was just all head right there.
Stay
It's gonna
real
take
classy,
3 hours
Adam.
for that to settle down.
Oh, lordy, 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 lordy.
Oh, it's getting deep
See,
tonight.
I thought about making something in my garage. I had this old condenser one time. It was what was it for? It was like a little, I don't know, reaching cooler or something. It had a condensing deck with the evaporator attached to it. And you basically just slide it in underneath this unit, right, and plug it in. Away you go. And they had sent me one for a warranty job, but it was the wrong one. So they're like, just keep it because there's too much to send back. So I'm like, all right, I'll keep it. I had thought about taking the evaporator out and then coiling up, like around a can or something. So basically making a evaporator into a beer can coil of some sort, like a 1 beer cooler. Like you could instantaneously cool it. That's what I was thinking, but I never got around to redneck engineering that.
That sounds kind of cool, though.
Hey, Clint, thank you for that super chat, buddy. I really appreciate that. I was going to give you a sound effect. There we go. Yep.
Ching.
You got the double, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, don't forget, guys, to hit that thumbs up there. We got 71 out of 4. 4 people didn't like us. They said no. I always get 4.
We suck again.
I get 4, and I almost wonder if it ain't people I work with sometimes. Because it's like, it's like, I used to get bothered by it at first, and it's like, oh, there's my 4.
I
and
honestly quit caring about it.
Honestly, what's great is it don't matter to YouTube. They don't give a shit one way or the other, whether you like it or not. They just want you to stay on there for advertising dollars.
Like the only thing I care about is just making videos. Then anything that happens after that, negatively, I don't care. You leave me a bad comment, I don't care. I don't even read the comments, honestly. You want to talk to me? Email me.
Well,
holy
Adam.
mackerel, HVAC overtime. Holy mackerel. He is the bomb diggy.
Wagon.
Came right out of our profits, Bill.
that was, I think we're in the red now.
I might make
We've
20
been
bucks
living
this
in the
month.
red.
They would.
Thank you, Adam.
I think we had like $14 saved up for our
I had
last,
a
our last
question from
54
Jason
shows.
there.
We were in
Jason, I made that thing. I borrowed the idea off of multiple different ones that I've seen online, which is another reason why I can't really sell it, and not to mention the liability. But if you watch or look down in the description, you'll see a link to the original one or the revised one that I built, which that one can do obviously 4 different types of ladders. And it was just basically using my welder and some square tubing and welding it together, and then using, you could use some flat stock that I bent, but you could weld that together. And,
Isn't he
essentially
talking about your
crane
strut thing?
Yeah. That
You
thing
can-
is
you can weld it, right? I mean, you're just using the unistrut trolley and like an L bracket.
that part is, but my tripod, I welded the L brackets on there, which I could have bolted them. But all the other stuff, I mean, the bracket for doing on a A-frame ladder or a straight ladder or clamping onto a roof hatch ladder, I built all that crap. I basically just started piecing together. I looked at like 5 or I don't know, it was about 5 different crane videos. One guy had one that just hooked on this, and one guy just hooked on that, and one guy hooked on that. I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna do all of it. So I put them all together into one. I mean, like I said, my dad was a welder and stuff, and so I worked in a machine shop when I was 16 illegally, and learned how to weld, and basically it's how I did my thing. I mean, I'm not the greatest in the world, but I do pretty okay.
Machine shop.
Yeah,
Your wife
I
was in a machine shop. Is there a coincidence?
What about machine shop?
Laura, wasn't your father working? Wasn't he a
Machinist? Yeah, he ran a lathe, a metal lathe.
Yeah, he ran a whole ton of
I didn't have a clue who she was then. Well, you would have been, what, 8 years old at the time?
See, this is where Chris would have been able to chime in.
Sorry, I was answering a comment.
No,
Boom. Where's that one there at?
But my dad retired. My dad actually retired at the age of 58 from a factory, believe it or not, which is kind of unheard of. But yeah, he had enough, and he was able to retire.
Did he? Was he financially sound? Like
he did some
Oh, yeah.
investments.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he played the stock market right.
Good.
And my mom retired before 62. Yeah.
She
Good.
worked for the state, though.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Maybe not retire, but to reach a point financially where I can choose to do stuff if I want.
I luckily like what I'm doing. I literally don't feel like I'm at work. I am basically playing around. I mean, as a kid, I tore shit apart and just wanted to fix things. I mean, I just wanted a truck and go fix things. I just so happened to fall into the HVAC
Yeah,
because
see, for
I was
me,
going to be electronics.
It's like borderline for me now that I'm getting into the part where you have a lot of people to deal with. Not a lot of people, but it's the people that make it sort of stressful,
Well, the management sucked. I mean, I was service manager for 8 years, and I thought, this is great. And it showed me I didn't want to own my own business because, I mean, it's hard to get work. I mean, I found that out real quick. I mean, I got to see all the bad things that go along with it. So, I mean, I don't know. It was eye-opening. It showed me how to run a business, stuff like that. I mean, to a point, because, I mean, I had to do my section of it, but we talked about it as a whole with the president of all the things, the financials. I mean, we looked at the full-blown report and we went over advertising strategies, all that crap. So I learned a lot of crap from it, but yeah, I don't miss that part. I'm a tech. I'm born to be a tech. That's what I do. I just fix shit.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot less stressful that way.
Yeah, to a point. I mean, but one of the things that make my job a lot more stressful is I always am asking for something harder. So I'm going on things that I haven't done. So I've got to figure out ways to fix it. So, you know, I got all my basics there to use it on something new that I hadn't worked on before. That's probably the worst thing is, you know, going from your comfort zone of the residential and the light commercial. Now all of a sudden you're in some of this industrial stuff and you don't know all the little problems and all the little tricks that, you know, that you can get in and get out in 30 minutes. I mean, so there's some things that suck there. Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, but I've learned a lot of shit where I'm at here. That's what's really cool about it. We do so much different stuff. I mean, it's always something different.
That's good though.
Yeah. I mean, there's no getting bored. Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for like watching YouTube stuff, like, I don't know, lately it's been, I'm hoping for a change of scenery, some new machines or something coming in, because I've been bored lately.
What have you been doing lately?
Just the mundane stuff. A little bit of hot side here, reaching cooler there, walking cooler once in a while. But we were acquired by a larger conglomerate, and our customer base is starting to shift, which is becoming exciting as I'm starting to see which customers we're starting to get. I'm like, oh, right, finally some new equipment, some different things to work on.
So it's making it bigger.
Yeah. So I'm hoping soon that we start getting some of this like new fancy. I don't even know if I call it fancy. I mean, it's fancy to me because shit, I've been working on Family Dollar crap forever.
Yeah. And I've worked on some of their coolers under warranty for True, and you know, it ain't always the greatest area. It just depends. No, Around here, though, they've kind of popped up like the coronavirus. I mean, they're all over the freaking place.
I made a custom. Well, I mean, I guess it's not really custom because you could just buy them or whatever. But I didn't feel like buying one. You know, the True drain pans in like a 3-barrel kegerator. It's like triangle shaped. And then there's a hole in the center with a flange that goes up for the fan.
Oh,
the drain
I think so. It's a 3-door.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had a lot of problems with those.
There that was all rotted.
So what'd you do? Just build an aluminum one and break it, or what?
I made it in steel, and then I just I coated it with, I don't remember what I coated it with. That was like 10 years ago, but I coated it with something.
Do you do much refrigeration, or are you mainly just residential stuff? Or?
I just play around.
Like, that's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
Look at that electric guy. Here in India, people blow up compressors like fireworks. Yeah, I'm surprised some of the different areas. Like I said, I had a guy in Turkey, and he literally was using translator to talk to me, which is kind of cool. And I'm like, dude, how do you understand what I'm saying? And so they must have, because I've watched the closed captioning. For anybody out there that has problems with hearing what I'm saying, you can use the closed captioning, and believe it or not, it's about pretty dead on accurate. I was really surprised. So I'm assuming that they probably have different plugins for different languages, which would be kind of interesting.
Is that they're blowing up compressors because they're pressurizing with oxygen, or what are they doing? Like, how do you blow up a compressor? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Well, in Detecting Arizona just said from what he's seen, when they blow up, it's from pressurizing with O2 instead of nitrogen. But yeah, the electric guy said it's killed many people. So yeah, that'd be interesting if you could elaborate a little more.
Well,
I mean, if that's all it is like it's a real easy fix. Just start using nitrogen like everyone else.
But what was the story with the freaking Mitsubishi stuff when they were?
That is called the diesel. What is it called, Bill? The diesel combustion effect.
But it was they were using nitrogen, weren't they?
Well, no, that's like when it's running and you like loosen the lines or disconnect the line.
You try to pump it down. Oh yeah. Even if you loosen the line. Also, it happens if you try to pump it down and it has oxygen somehow in the system, like it's got a leak or.
Is that the problem? It's sucking oxygen in.
Yeah.
And it tries to compress
it. Did the most research on this topic? It was like
I seen it where it blew apart, and I'm like, I couldn't figure out why the hell it did it. I didn't understand.
No, and I finally, after digging into it, I finally found a, I don't know if it was like a press release, but like an official document where they sort of explained it. And that's where the name diesel combustion effect came from, which
I will have to look that up because I I don't like working on them to begin with, so I really don't need something I do by accident and cause it to take my face off.
I mean, I've
You
always
don't wanna take
thought
your
now
face.
after hearing about that, it just scares me because you put something like that in somebody's backyard where they have kids or something. The kids like everything's a jungle gym. They're climbing up on the lines. You know, they break a flare off, crack the line off, boom, they're dead. You know.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I mean, it should just run until it
He
goes
said it was
flat.
an R410 system, and they didn't vacuum. They didn't pull a vacuum on it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you see that one Facebook post? Was it one of you guys that did it where the guy carried this mini split up the ladder and about
That was
fell
me.
off and then finally dropped it? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Ran
That was
into a car,
great.
it looked like.
Yeah. And right,
I
I was
gotta
like,
say, the HVAC guys in other countries, they're freaking big boys over there. You ever see like they're climbing up like 60-foot freaking ladders? They like tie ladders to ladders, and then they're at the top working on a mini split or standing on a ladder with other guys on the other side of the ladder off of.
That's because they don't have OSHA over there.
I mean, I would never. How much do they make? Like, I was talking to some guy in Chris's Discord from Malaysia, and he was saying they charge like a total with materials of like $300 or $400 to install a mini split. And I'm like, Jesus, you can't even buy a mini split materials for $400 here, you know?
yeah, it's probably marked up quite a bit. I wonder sometimes, for the reason they've sent everything over to China, what do they really pay for that TV and all that crap that we buy? I mean, it really makes me think they ain't paying, but a tenth of what we're paying for it. It's almost scary to think what they probably pay for it. Probably be the same thing with the equipment too, I bet. So.
In Arizona says, yeah, there's some really small mini splits. Like Daikin makes a small, like little 7,000 cooling only mini split that, yeah, you can carry that. I can carry 2 of those, one on each shoulder. But like the Daikin I did, the 4-zone,
Hang it to my sack. I'll carry it right up.
3-6. Like I struggle with 3 people carrying this up a flight of stairs. So like there's certain ones, yeah, I could see, and other ones, no, not so much,
I was trying to find that diesel combustion document, but I can't seem to find it right now.
I remember them talking about it, but I don't know. That's a perfect example of doing so much different stuff. I mean,
that's why they say you never pump down a mini split.
I did. I think I have.
Very careful.
Look, you got your eyebrows
and your legs.
They do need trimmed quite a bit. Just throwing that out there.
She'll come up with a little plucker and want to pluck your freaking eyebrows. You got one that's out there winking at me like a little zebra.
It's like a little, it's got an antenna.
So you got caterpillars in your forehead.
Yeah, how would you like somebody to do that? Hold still for a minute. What? Hold still.
Let me get this
I'm thinking, is there a bug crawling out of my eye socket?
Yes.
No, I got to get a freaking... So,
and then he cries like a girl.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I can see
whatever. I do. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. It hurts. This is never getting replayed. Yeah, I'm thinking it's time to shut this mother down.
11 o'clock, and I need to go get me some
I know.
food.
I wish I had some beer. We went to the grocery store today. I should have got some.
You can't drink beer.
I can have beer.
They don't
Why
have
can't you drink beer?
Low-calorie beer, do they?
I have gained some weight back anyway, so what's it matter? Yeah, Ultra, though, it never gives me a buzz, though. It's so light on the freaking alcohol content, even though it says it's not. It doesn't
I don't
seem
drink
like
beer, and it doesn't seem to affect my weight at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather eat more food, but yeah.
Jason's asking real quick, what do you guys like to use for cleaning drains? Definitely not Drano.
No, I would want to kill the people when they do stupid stuff like that.
Sizzle.
Yeah. Nitrogen, generally. I mean, but really, even then, you're just blowing the crap out, and it's just going to be, it's still in there like a.
You're going to use
artery.
nitrogen. You need to know where the end of the drain's at. Let me tell you.
Yeah, because you blow it all the way across their floor. I've done that before.
Whoopsie.
There's a reason why I point a lot of the shit out that I do on the videos, because it's usually something I've done
You've
wrong.
done in the past, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell. Like, all right, so that's one thing I'm going through with my helper right now. Like he's like haphazardly carrying like glue and primer into houses. I'm like, when you carry primer, I want to see you carrying it like this, and I don't want you having anything else. I don't want you having anything else in your hands, and keep it level. And like I see him like just whatever. I'm like, listen, and I told him a story. There was a guy that works for my dad, and he spilled it all across this guy's floor, and my dad had to buy him all new floors.
You guys have any clue on this one here? Cody is working on an Italian OMT. try. I haven't even heard of this thing, water chiller, and I have an alarm on the screen that says magnetic air mixture. Any suggestions?
Sounds
have
made
no
up.
idea.
Don't believe him.
I would Google that and see what it is, because I'm sure it's not the first time it's happened.
Google won't let
Did you
know.
try turning it off and turning it back on again?
Unplug it. Yeah, unplug it.
Tap your head 3 times, turn around twice, and turn it off and back on again. Wait 5 minutes in between there for it to discharge.
All right, guys. I'm going to jump out of here.
I appreciate you coming in, Bill.
Bye, Bill. Thanks for
It has
coming
been
for the
Thanks for
fun.
watching,
amusing and
guys.
fun. Absolutely. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. We got 83. Holy mackerel. So almost everybody hit a thumbs out there. Well, we had hit 91 something. So add those together, 84, 85, 86, 87. So we had 87 out of the 92
not
that
bad.
was watching. And 85 is watching right now. That's pretty good. I mean,
All right, thumbs up. I just thumbs upped it too. There we go.
Well, thanks.
Anything I
2
can
thumbs
do.
up. I appreciate that.
Hit it
Thank you.
twice.
I
Have a
appreciate
Good night,
that.
guys.
Bye, Bill.
See ya. He's gone. I'm sitting there looking at the other monitor, and he's like, still there. He's still there right now, but there's almost a 30-second delay
There's a
on this thing,
lag.
though. Well, I think it's kind of amazing, though. Flexing Ted, he
Well,
says.
he said toodles. Even though that's you.
You can
You
tell.
guys started the toodles.
I think people might get a chance to see my personality difference between now and when I'm at work. Because when I'm at work, I'm not always the most cheerful person in the world. Versus now, where I can be a little more goofy and enjoy what I'm doing. I mean, you are at work. I mean, I sometimes wonder, is my attitude coming across wrong? Because I'm just like, okay, here's what's wrong. Here's what we got. We did this. We don't have that. Now we're doing this, and there's why. So that's the reason why, guys.
Well,
It's just
that's kind of like Chris on Chris's show, where he's like sitting there helping everyone out with all of his answers, and then he comes on overtime and his feet are up on the desk. He's doing shots, and he's like, "Listen, MFers, this is what I got to talk about today."
Yeah, I've gotten into the podcast thing. I never used to listen to it, so I've been listening to Vince or to Gil and them, and I've been listening to the HVAC School, and I've been listening to a few different other ones. And it's kind of addictive after a while, but I always like when Gil comes on. I love you, motherfuckers. Blah blah blah. And it's like, hey, cool. I'm like, I like calling people bastards, but it's always interesting to hear him say it.
I like Gil.
Yeah, he does an awesome job. He does an awesome job.
And Weaver said, really, Rick? I haven't noticed.
Yeah, it's just the way I am. I was always negative. I was always a negative person. I still kind of am, but it's just my personality. But it doesn't mean I don't try to do the best possible job I can. I mean, when I do that stuff like that filter dryer, I didn't want to take that stupid thing out, but I knew it was the right thing to do, so I ended up doing it. I mean, you can't be as critical as what I am on certain people and not do the job right. So, I mean, I kind of hold myself accountable because I am so hard on some people. Not so much where I'm at now, but I was where I was at before. So, just got to do your best always. Hey, look at that. A little prick from freaking Canada. Yeah.
He said Chris's bestie is Bailey. Oh, so he got it wrong. So wait, Joe. Does that mean that you listened?
Joe should come in here real quick for a minute. But I know
Joseph.
Send him the thing.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Well, I don't.
Send
Yeah,
it
I
to
do
his burner
have-
phone.
Well,
Oh, I thought you said murder
Here,
phone
yeah,
instead of burner phone.
I'll do it the easy way because I'm going to be lazy. I'll take a picture of it and then he'll have to manually type it in.
Oh, he'll never do that. He will absolutely
Rick,
never
don't do that.
Well, god dang it! All I've got is Messenger. I
Just
don't
ask
have
him
his
Messenger.
email.
Oh, he doesn't use Messenger.
Well, then he ain't getting it.
I'll
He's either
try
going to get a picture of it.
I wonder if I could do it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on here. Let me type it in. Damn Canadians. All right. Where's that?
They are the worst, but I don't even think he's really Canadian now. I really
He's
think
probably not. He's Afghani or something, I think.
Oh, so you did listen to our message.
Where's he
Did
at?
you
Where's he at?
laugh at us? Did you think it was funny, or did you just roll your eyes and just be like, "Those"?
I'm gonna have to change my
jerks."
name. Man, I know a crap ton of freaking Joes. Man, holy crap. I think I put Canadian behind it. Let me see. Yeah, it is. Overtime Joe B. Canada. Boom, got him. Okay, there we go. Let's go. HTTPS double dots //
Alexander's laughing hard here. He said,
stream STREAM yard.
Hey, stop.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute you.
Everyone's gonna show up. That's what
Yeah.
they call
Oh,
a.
wait. Look, there he is.
What?
There's Joe. Is that Joe?
Yeah, he's there.
There's
Damn it.
Joe. Hold on.
Get rid of this.
Sorry,
Boom.
we were fighting over the mouses. And
He don't
says,
have a picture though.
It's okay.
Yeah, you don't want to see him anyway.
Oh, there he is.
Do you got pants on, Joe?
Yeah, I see he's outside again. You notice that he's not allowed to let nobody know what he's doing. He's always outside because he's got bad reception up in the mountains.
No.
Are you in the witness protection program?
Show us your license, Joe. We want to make sure that you're
I don't have it
actually
on
from
me.
where. Yeah, exactly. He's got port forwarding on his phone. It says Ontario, but it's like, yeah. I need to. He has Verizon. I have family that worked for them. I probably scan it and find out where he's exactly at.
No, I actually
both my kids worked for him.
I was just at some actually, I don't know if you're aware, Rick. I think you were listening. My brother came in town, so I've just been, hanging
Drinking
out.
games.
So.
I
Yeah,
wondered
a
if
little
he was
bit.
still there.
Cool.
Yes, he's here till Wednesday, so
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
We're talking about Luigi.
Yes,
Yeah.
Luigi.
Luigi.
Nice.
Had
So-
some. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you play the the message we left you for your brother to hear?
No, what message?
I called
That
your
was
phone.
last one's
we-
burner phone.
Oh,
We called your burner phone and left you
Oh.
a long voicemail
I'll talk
with
about that. Okay, I'll talk about that. Thanks, Laura, for bringing that up. I didn't even know I had a voice message. So I don't even know how to check it. I tried putting a password in. I don't even know the password.
What?
So,
If
yeah.
you've never changed it, it's gonna be the last 4 digits of your phone.
Oh.
If it
Okay.
ain't that, try the last 4 digits of your social. Well, you don't even have Social Security.
Okay.
Whatever the hell you
Burner
guys
phone.
use.
With a burner phone, you don't need to give your social security number. That's the whole point.
That's
Good,
you
that's
got
true.
it, buddy.
Why
Adam's
do you
got it
have
figured
5
out.
T-Mobile phones for?
Well,
Oh, when the battery goes dead, I just throw it
Yeah,
away.
right.
because
Yeah.
so who all was in here? We had Chris and Adam and Bill and us. And
I dropped in for a couple minutes, but then I had to go, so I didn't bother saying anything. Now I'm here.
Oh,
I see.
Joe, I gotta
he
tell you
came to see
something.
Chris.
I
Yeah.
think you're a real staple in HVAC over time, because
Thanks, man.
I would
appreciate
say,
it.
we've missed Bill, we've missed Chris in the past, but with you gone, I do like your brother. He's a good guy and all. Boy, I gotta tell you, I missed you on Friday.
He didn't talk much.
Oh, yeah.
And he had,
You-
why
who,
would
my
you put
brother?
the microphone in front of him? Yeah, you put the microphone too far away from him. It was hard to hear.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell. I wanted to say,
know.
hey, pull the microphone closer, but I felt like he was gonna come after me and put a hit out at me or something.
Yeah.
Just some fentanyl.
Adam thinks he's a. Yeah. Adam thinks he's a big gangster, but like
He
a big.
did look very serious.
No, he's good. He's very humble. He's good. He's cool.
I enjoyed it though. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
I thought us crippled HVAC guys or trades guys were gonna ask him more doctorish questions, but nobody did. I'm surprised.
I was asking him COVID questions and cavity questions.
Cavity? He looks down on. I'm not gonna
Dentists.
say that. Yeah, like the doctors don't. They frown upon like the dentists because they're not.
Dentists
Oh.
are like
That's
the
true.
doctors that can never make it in life.
Well, no, it's
They really don't like chiropractors.
But here's the thing: is
You're
that
right,
dentists,
Rick.
dentists
don't.
make really easy money. They make all this money, and it's like they don't have to work for it. That's
True.
I think one of the kind of general.
Well, I asked my family
perceptions.
doctor. I said, I'm having some problems with my shoulder and stuff. Do you know anything about that? Because I said, the chiropractor knew all the muscles and stuff. He's like, yeah, I think I would know a little more than the chiropractor would. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry to
absolutely.
know that.
Yeah,
He
they're.
didn't like that too well. Then he dislocated my arm and kicked me out the door and said, have him go fix it now. So I was like, man, dude, I don't know if that was called for. Mm-hmm. And he charged me twice.
Yeah, I think sometimes it depends your issue. I think sometimes just a regular massage is more useful than a chiropractor. I don't know.
Because it really does come down to the muscles sometimes all being
Yeah.
screwed up.
You put the
That's right.
lotion on the skin.
I've
Yeah,
had
put some
good luck with
lotion on the
everything.
skin.
I pulled my back out. I've had a professional massage, which helped. I pulled my back out. I went for what is it called? Acupuncture and fire cupping.
Oh, yeah.
That helped. It was very weird, but it helped. And then I also went to a chiropractor. They all help. I feel like everything works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to loosen the muscles up first, though. I mean, before you can make the adjustment. But I always wondered, it's like, okay, if your bone is here, and they moved it to here, and what's keeping it from going back to that same position it was at before?
Sure. I'm just hopping in chat for a second. I see Weaver. Did he approve of your friends? Well, before he got off, I don't know if he says your friends stink.
Yeah, he did.
So,
That was like a bummer, Joe. I feel like your family does not approve of us.
No, it was just joking, man. Yeah,
That was that serious. There's a little bit of truth in every joke.
Yes, there is. There is.
But we suck.
Get out of here.
We want to tell them one thing. We were we weren't mentally prepared to entertain your brother on Friday.
I know it was funny because Rick, I didn't tell these guys, and like I trolled like these guys as well. They didn't even know. Like right before the beat dropped, I fucking changed my earphones. And you know what? There's a few people that Yamo, a Big Clive, I believe, said it in chat, and there's someone else that, "Joe, you feeling all right?"
But you said it in the last the last show or 2 shows ago that you had a twin brother, though, and so you ruined it. If you wouldn't have said that, then I don't think anybody would have known.
Yeah, there's a few guys thought it was me. I wasn't feeling well. I was sick or something. I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, well, and he didn't sound like you either.
No, you're right.
Like a much meaner, murderish version.
He seems like he has an accent. Does he have a little bit of an accent?
If you ask me, I'd say no, but it's you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
He sounds more Italian than you.
Yeah.
Does he? Maybe. Maybe.
I feel
sound
like
more Canadian.
he's not as cheery. Like he doesn't have as cheery of a demeanor as what you
Demeanor?
do, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
Joe.
Yeah, like
Joe
I
used to
could
be
pick up
very
it right
cheery.
away.
You're right. You're
very,
right.
very cheery. He was a happy-go-lucky guy until he started talking and
I
hanging
agree.
with us. And
I
now he's
agree.
kind of evil. He's a little off, Joe.
You guys are bad influence. I'm telling you.
I know these Americans are ruining the Canadians. Let's be
Tell you.
honest.
Make Canada great again.
I was before we have to get out of here because I know you guys are about to get out. Rick, what do you use to measure your GPM? Like regular GPM, like on a heat pump, let's say in a condo.
Well, I mean, you got to use the factory's chart and find out what your pressure drop is, and you look at the chart based off the tonnage of the machine, and it'll tell you what your gallons per minute would be.
Okay, so what happens if you don't have a chart, and let's say you want to just check the billings GPM or the GPM going through? I know you could check the pressure drop there through the machine, but just like a quick thing, because I was telling. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, for what I've noticed, it always seems to be that your temperature drop usually is somewhere around 5 to 9. And then I've noticed, and sometimes, I know you're not supposed to put your gauges on it, but if you're using probes and stuff, I feel better sometimes because I'll get okay pressure or okay temperatures. But like for this one place where we got 18 geothermals on it, and they have a variable speed on the freaking pumps. Well, they're slowing down the pumps, and it's giving me a higher temperature rise across my coax coil. So it's like, wait a minute, I should be like 5 to 7 or 9 or so, and here I'm getting like 16. I'm like, okay, either I'm overcharged or I'm low on charge. Something's wrong. And then you check your subcooling, and it's fine. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? And so. Yeah, and like the Climate Master was known for leaking, so it never fails between that and the failed TXVs. But yeah, you got to look at the freaking chart. I mean, that's between that and the rule of thumb. I mean, that's about all I can do.
Yeah, because there's these. I deal with a lot of general heat pumps in these condos. They're old, some of them, and you're not finding nothing. And an old guy told me once before, he's like, as long as you have 2.5 GPM per ton, and it's true.
And
per
that's true.
ton.
I heard 3, so we're pretty close, right?
2.5 to 3 for a closed loop and 1.5 for an open loop.
That's right. Yep. And it's working. And I had this old. I was telling you, it rubbed out. It was it started with, I think it's a headlock or a headlock. It was a neat little tool. It was like,
Is that like a ultrasonic GPM meter or something like
it's
that?
not. It's manual. It's not no digital anything GPM. But it was just something you screw. It's like it's pipe threaded, and you just screw it on in series with your heat pump or your coaxial, whatever
and
you want to.
Moves it up and down.
That's right.
Yeah, I've seen those before on residential. Yeah.
So I'm looking for one right now, and I think I located one. Dude, I can't believe how expensive they are. And now,
Are you gonna like take it back out of the system once you put it in?
yeah, it was just to test GPM. Like I want to test if across the coax or just check the building GPM coming to my unit or to the unit. So I want
Is
to
it
check
an open
right?
loop system or closed
Close
loop?
loop, close loop. Heat
So
pumps.
how are you gonna make sure you keep the air out and stuff?
That's a good question. Good question, but I think you'd be all right.
You know they do make.
yet.
I'm not sure how much they cost, but they do make strap-on flow sensors, right?
This is really going south.
I know.
No, I don't. Usually, I don't not worry about.
It's not like the normal strap-on you're used to. It's like for a pipe.
That's hurtful. Because why would she need that? Now you're kidding.
Oh, no, I was
me.
talking to Joe, not your
That's
wife.
like an insult on me, not
Not
her.
your wife.
Jeez, that's
I wasn't
hurtful.
talking to your wife. I'm sorry.
I know, but if she's getting a strap on done to her, then why does that guy need it? Yeah.
It's cool that you said about the pressure drop too, because there's ways I never done it before. Like let's say you want to replace a pump even, and you don't know what size of pump. That's a neat little way to figure it out. What pump you need to get pressure drop across it.
I'm trying to do research right now on doing a variable speed flow center, and I can't find a lot of information about them online.
Climate Master has it.
Well, I know they have them built in, right? They have them into their units. So
I guess it ain't really the flow center that's actually variable. It's in the unit itself. And that was kind of in their communicating one too. It was a higher end one. We ended up ripping it out. We had all kinds of issues with it.
Oh, that's what I'm installing right now. That's the Trilogy communicating unit.
That's what I think it was. Yeah, we had
Exactly what
problems
I'm
with
putting
both
in.
of them. We replaced both of them.
Why do you want to put a flow sensor? Just if you have a variable pump.
Well, no, I don't like. All right, so we also have a water-to-water unit, which does not have an internal pump. We need an external flow center for that, right? So we have a water-to-air and a water-to-water.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, is this? I guess I assume you always say you're from the Chicago area, so I'm thinking big city. Are these people that have these geothermals? Are they using vertical loops or they got horizontal loops? And they live.
This is basically like a Chicago
suburb.
It's not technically Chicago, but it's basically Chicago. Like the property line is like maybe 4 foot off the the building on one side and maybe 10 foot off on the other side. So it's very tight.
Now, why would they do a geothermal in town if they have natural gas?
Because this guy has more money than he knows what to do with, and this is his hobby, and he's trying to make basically a science experiment to see how green he can go. And that's my whole point on trying to do the variable.
Yeah, you have to go variable. Yeah. See, I never use variable pumps, to be honest with you. I barely use them, maybe use them once. But usually I'm just with strictly Grundfos pumps and that's it. But variable pumps will save you that 1 watt of power.
Yeah, it's very minuscule.
Yeah.
And the cost
it's
to
more
repair
than a
it's gonna be
watt.
ridiculous.
I think it's more than a watt. But I think with the variable pumps, you could actually, some of them will actually tell you what your GPM is, and you could actually set it up for whatever your temperature drop or temperature rise.
We use high, medium, and low ones.
That's right. That's right.
We'll run 2, but half the time you really only need 1 for like one single system most of the time that we run into.
Yeah. But you're right, Adam. There's certain pumps. Some go off the GPM and some go off the actually some could go off the differential, the delta, sorry.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You could set up what you want your delta to be.
Yeah.
And it will run the GPM based upon that.
Yeah. And especially that you're using, like you have 2 different you got different heat going on at that place that you're at, that fancy place. It's good. It'll come in handy, I guess, especially with zoning. Even the zoning I do with hydronics, I should be using variable, but these people don't care about money efficiency. They just want to.
Have you ever checked?
I'm sorry.
Have you ever checked the unit with it going super slow, like with the pumps going really slow, and then checking with them going really fast? It checks out the same both ways usually.
You're saying like a regular, like a flow center?
Speed your flow center all the way up as high as it can go, and then slow it down as slow as it goes, and then do subcooling, superheat, all that crap. It still works out. From what if I remember correctly.
You know what? I've never tried doing that with a regular circulator. Now that you were thinking, like saying that, I was just thinking about circulators too at the same time, like checking the amp draw on a circulator, 3-speed circulator.
I mean, that's how I learned a lot of my stuff for the new guys out there. You know, I used to do a lot of planned maintenance and stuff, and I got bored. So I would okay, what happens when I yank this wire off the pressure switch? What happens when I yank this one off the limit? What happens when I ground this here and do this there? And, and that's when I started learning how it reacts. And that's what made it so much easier to diagnose this stuff later. So
absolutely
take advantage of those PMs that you hate doing, that I hate doing. So.
And Rick, that's a key point for the youngsters or the guys coming into the trade. That's how you test your knowledge, right? Just figuring out yourself and taking things off. And what happens when you do this? What happens when you do that? Yeah, I agree. Just
be careful not to short nothing and put everything back the way you had it. Yeah. But don't break nothing. But
and the guy, and the guys that are afraid to do that on the job, on the site, because they're already under enough pressure. Bring one home. If you have an old unit that you think is going to be it's condemned because the compressor is bad, just bring it home and do it yourself. Work on it. Fix it.
Or do your own unit.
Or your own unit.
Play with your own unit.
Yep.
I don't know if that's a good thing to say, play with your own unit, but
as long as you make it more efficient.
Why not? We've said far worse.
Streamlined and better.
It's funny we were talking about this. So I was just going to mention one thing. Like, let's say I don't deal with a lot of just fan coil systems and condos because I don't deal with too many condos. And when I'm in condos, they're usually the smaller condos. So I'm dealing with more heat pumps and like a closed loop with a cooling tower. So I don't work on fan coils too much, but they're pretty cool. And I've seen them, a few of them, but I want to work on more and more and know more in depth. So I'm trying to get one actually at my house off this other guy I know, just to see what they're about and how they work.
What do you mean by fan coil?
Just like a chiller system, and you have lines coming in, and it's chilled water going out, or boiler water coming in, boiler water coming out. It's just
so you got two coils in there.
Yes. No. It's open loop. Let's say you have a cooling tower, and it's fan coils.
It's basically just regular commercial type application, and they got solenoid valves on there.
Yeah. So usually it has solenoid valves. Yeah. Yeah.
And now can they do both for dehumidification and stuff like that, or
I'm not
too fancy?
Yeah, I think that would be too fancy, too expensive for fan coils and condos. But I just want to see how because some of them have two aquastat sensors, and I want to see how they communicate with each other, like fan speed. I just never really worked on it. I just want to know how they're wired and how they work, really. So I don't know.
You know what always threw me for a loop, like coming up and being young in HVAC, was working on like old furnaces, like standing pilot with fan centers and the relays and all that. And
That's what I started out on.
It was just it was weird. There were so many wires. It was very intimidating. And then once you figure out how like the relay works and all that, and you're just like, this is actually super easy.
You're right. Mm-hmm. But relays, you got to admit, Adam, a lot of people in the trade don't know how to.
No, and it's so easy.
It is. You say it's easy, but a lot of guys, it could be a little tricky, for the guys coming in. It could be a little tricky, you know what I mean?
But like, all right, if somebody broke it down for them, how they work.
Yes.
It's like nobody did that for me, right? So basically what I did was I started playing with them.
Yeah.
I started figuring out what was going on because I didn't really understand. And I still like, those little black, I don't know what they call them. What do they call those relays? The little black 24
peanut relays.
Peanut relays. I don't really like the drawing, the schematic on the relay. It's really easy to figure out what the coil side is, but the drawing,
holes and the open.
It's not like very clear. Like
you're right.
Rogers relay where it shows like, so sometimes some of them are more clear than others, and you play with it, and you're like, well, what's normally open, what's normally closed? I don't know. I just don't like their drawings. Period.
No.
Is it on the Honeywell or on like any particular one?
I think we're talking the peanut relay. I think we're
the black one.
I'm talking about like a White Rogers one that I don't
have
drawings on.
Yeah, and then lightweight. They're lucky if they're good for 8 amps or something.
Yeah.
That one is a little screwy because they show the coil curled, and I always like the Honeywell 82222 something D or whatever.
Yeah.
That one's my favorite. Double pull, double throw.
I like. Do you ever use the RIB, the rib relays?
Yeah, the relay in a box.
Yeah, I like them.
Our controls guys use it a lot. Those come in handy. I've used those on a couple walk-ins and stuff like that, where everything was high voltage. And
See,
then,
Rick, I haven't used. I usually use fan centers, as you see. Fan centers. I don't know how I'm talking right now. I have so much Glenfiddich, but anyways, but the rib relays. The only thing I don't like about them is they don't provide your 24 volts.
Well, if you just have a regular plug-in relay, that's not going to provide you 24 volts unless you use the whole fan center, right?
Yeah, and that's what I usually use, and why I usually use it, because I need that 24 volts from that fan center, or else I'll use a rib. So I just got the hang of using fan centers, and just got used to them. But sorry, I don't want to cut anybody off. They've been starting to not sell fan centers anymore.
No, they're very freaking expensive.
Okay,
There's
have you bought
a
freaking Honeywell insert fan limit control lately with like a timed on fan limit from back in the day?
Like, yeah, that's what. Yeah,
them things are freaking expensive. The ones where you stick it in the furnace and it gets hot and it rotates.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yes.
Them things used to be like 130 something. I think they're up to 160, 170 now because they're not being used for anything anymore.
They use them on the low boys, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, they could be on that. I mean, hell, we used them in the pulse furnace, but even we had the timed on start and all that stuff. I mean,
it's funny. Like that's how I'd always tell. Like when I was ripping out furnaces, and you would like send somebody to turn off the breaker. I just twist the the fan center limit, and you would kick the blower on. All right, flip the breaker. No, that's not it. No, it's not it. And they would always tell you, don't spin that manually. You're going to hurt it. You're going to damage it. Don't spin it manually. I don't know. Spin it.
Weaver, it's normally, if it says normally, whenever it says normally open or normally closed, that's when it's unenergized, when it's just sitting there on the shelf. So,
yeah, it's just like, I think it was, I can't remember what diagram I was reading. I was trying to help a buddy that I know in another company. And this diagram, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I don't see this too often, but a diagram had all the safeties open. So, usually safeties on a diagram usually closed, right? So it was kind of tripping him out. They're all open.
Were they proof that it was running though?
Not that I don't think so. I'm not sure. I just never. I don't know. I was like, "What the hell? What's going on here?"
Was it some? It was a brand or something.
It was from China.
You know what? It was. I can't remember what brand. This was actually a fan center. See, this is why. Why is it? Why are they doing this? Like, I'm so intrigued now. You know what I mean? But it was a fan center. It's like, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah.
Another thing that used to trip me up early on, because there's not a lot of air handlers here, is heat sequencers.
Yeah.
Which those are also ridiculous. That's even easier than a regular like white rod relay.
You're right. But for a guy who hasn't seen them.
Like I would look at like a heat kit on a air handler, I'm like 21 years old. I'm like, what is this? I have no clue what's going on. But they're so easy to work on once you understand them. You know?
Yeah.
It's hot. Bimetal switches.
Yeah.
On it comes.
2 different metals, yeah.
And Weaver's saying that it depends on the manufacturer, whether it's normally open or normally closed, whatever they're showing. It doesn't. They don't all make them in the energized state or unenergized state. I've always heard it was in the unenergized state. Whatever it says is what it is when it's unenergized. What do you guys think?
Yes,
100%. That's every relay I've ever worked on.
I would think they'd have to be across the board the same. I couldn't imagine them being different because then you'd have malfunctions. But I could be wrong.
I thought it like they say the word normally. So like out of the box, it's normally this, and then you provide power to it, and then it becomes this, right? That I don't know.
Yes,
that's what I mean. It can be either or. It could be normally closed. It could be normally open. Whatever they say it is, it's that state when it's not powered.
Right.
So that's what it's always been. I've ever seen it, but yeah. Well, it's 2 hours and 28 minutes, and we still have 57 people.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I really appreciate all you people out there hanging in with us and stuff. I mean,
these are hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about anything and everything under the sun. I am really strongly going to have to consider whether I leave this up or not. But
oh, it got that bad?
We talked about everything but religion this time. So we talked about politics. We talked about guns. We talked about pretty much everything.
I think Joe's Catholic, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So he can get on
that. Joe, you're Catholic?
Yes. I was born Catholic, Christian.
Okay,
Yeah.
either you are or you aren't, but yeah.
Well,
That's
it's just
cool.
that I don't like. I can say I'm Catholic. I just don't practice, right? So I'm just.
You should practice, dude. End times are here.
Yeah, them times
here
are
we
here,
go.
right?
Yeah, end times are here, man. Start practicing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We got fires in California. We have murder hornets. We have coronavirus.
The
We have
murder
terrorists
hornets
breaking in businesses.
were a bust.
Wars and wars and rumors of wars. We got peace treaties going on with Israel. It's getting good.
We got, I think, another letter getting added to the LGBTQ statute. I don't know.
Where's the letter?
I don't know. I heard there's another letter getting added. I don't know. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Was
What?
that at your like monthly meeting?
Monthly meeting.
I don't know. Terrorists breaking in
boy.
businesses. Who knows?
Oh, geez. Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys coming in and stuff. It makes it so much funner. I don't have anything in store usually for these other than just meeting my people and hanging out with them, I guess, if anything. And if I can answer any questions live while we're on it, it's kind of cool. I mean, I'm just a normal guy, nothing special. I just happen to love to talk, and it works out fine for making the videos. And I just have this desire to someday get told, hey, you helped me out when I was first starting. And that's just, I think, will be a really cool thing to hear someday if it ever do hear it. So
You are special in the HVAC community, bro, online. And yes, and I'm
Think
pretty
so?
yes,
He's
you are.
special all the time.
There you go. Adam,
Special
I'm pretty
ed.
sure could agree with me there.
Yeah.
And all the guys in chat, the guys always around too that we see in chat. They're
Yeah.
really knowledgeable themselves.
I mean, me and Chris, even Chris, when we were talking, it was like, we're just doing what we do every day, we ain't nobody special. So, that's cool.
Yeah,
Whatever I can do to help out. I try not to sound like a know-it-all or any of that crap because, it's, like I said, most of the things I'm pointing out is stuff I did wrong maybe just yesterday. So, or it's things that no one really wanted to answer for me. When I worked at the last company, when I asked the guy how to check geothermals, I said, how do you find out how much water you got? And I don't know if he was lying or if he really didn't know. He's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, what? How, you've been to the school twice, man. How, I've never been to a geothermal school. I just started working on so many of them that I had to get good at them.
Right.
When I came to where I'm at now, 6 years ago, I had worked on probably 4 or 5 geothermals. Now, shoot, sometimes I might work on 4 or 5 of them in the day, or and then it may be a week before I do it again, or a month. But we sold so many of them. It's just so many things like that I like to share, just because I didn't know it. And it's like, I know somebody else out there probably has the same issues that I had. Either people don't want to tell them, or they're afraid to ask because they're afraid people's going to make fun of them or say they're stupid or whatever the case, or they're already trying to work their way up the ladder. So they're afraid they're just going to confirm that, they may not know as much as what they know or they say or whatever. And that's why I like throwing it out there. That's why I like doing it.
I'd like Joe, when Joe comes into town, I'd like him to come to this job that I have where these guys installed this water to water unit and they put the Pete's plug 3 inches from the wall.
Pete's.
Yeah. And I want Joe to put a 90 on it and change it on the fly for me.
Really, you're gonna have me there and do something like that, eh? That's the kind of guy you are, eh?
Pinch that copper off. Click,
It's
clink.
the HVAC Olympics.
Right, right.
Well,
Yeah, right.
he's from the north, see, so he probably brings his little freeze tool and he'll freeze the water. It's his little spidey senses, and then change it.
I have the rigid freeze tool. I've used it a couple times. The pucker factor is high with that. Let me
The
tell you.
pucker factor.
How does that work?
Pucker factor.
It's like, well, there's different kinds. The rigid one, it's basically a refrigeration circuit through the jaws, and you use something called cooling gel on the copper,
For
or
conductance.
whatever, and then you strap it tight, and they depending on the size of the pipe, they tell you how long to let it run. I let it run for like an extra 20 minutes. Whatever.
No kidding.
Now, can it do that with flow?
Huh?
Or can it do that with flow? Or
I
does it have
did.
to-
I mean, I did. It was a small line. It was a 1/2-inch line in an apartment building. I didn't shut it because they didn't want to shut anything down. That was the whole point of me doing it. But they say, like in the instructions, once you leave it for this amount of time, you can cut it. I drilled like an 1/8-inch hole, like a freaking girl, just to make sure it worked.
That's cool.
It worked.
I never tried that. They seemed always so interesting, but when it comes worse, I just go shark bite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I started watching this plumber guy on YouTube. He has his own business, and he's an anti-shark bite
He's
guy.
very anti
Of course,
bite.
of course.
But I like shark bite. I had no problems with them. I like it if they're a little cleaner. But yeah,
What you could do is if you got ProPress, I've seen a lot of guys do this too. So they'll take a ball valve, ProPress,
while it's open.
Yeah, they leave
And
it
then close
open and then put it on and close it. Boom.
Yeah.
Yep. I've watched the guys do it, and I've done it myself. Like natural gas lines, I'll pipe dope the inside of the female threads and have that thing and change her live, and then get on there and because I mean, you're talking less than a pound of pressure, so. And that's how they do it outside, but you want to make sure you're ventilated. Anybody out there that don't feel comfortable doing that, don't do that because your house blows up and blame it on me.
I shouldn't talk about this.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about it either. It's against code here, but
I changed a valve on a freaking high pressure system on the fly, but it was outside. But it's still scary because that freaking comes out like a rocket ship.
How many? Like 80 pounds, 60 pounds?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. It's just
I think I'd be
you pull it
scared.
off, you're like,
me too.
Woo, woo.
Like you have to change your pants afterwards.
It don't get too cold or nothing, does it? It don't get really
much.
cold or anything, does it, when it's coming out?
I don't remember.
It's weird because it's like a 3/8 half-inch line the most, and it's just whistling out. Man.
It's coming out like a freaking fire hose, and it's scary.
Nice.
You're nuts. I don't know.
Honestly, like a regular residential system, I feel like the way you feel by changing a high pressure valve on the fly is like on a residential system. You could like take off a valve, walk across the room, go get your ball valve, come back, and then put it back on. And I still
I know.
okay with it,
And air's still coming out when you bleed. I know. Actually, I don't know if you guys have it, but over here by Cold, when you go for your gas fitter, they have a dead man switch. You guys get trained for that? No?
I've heard of a dead man switch, but I'm not sure what it.
It's pretty much you put it.
Wait a minute, isn't that used in explosives?
Yeah, it's almost like that. It's a handle.
Do you know this, Joe?
I don't know. Because yeah. You hook it on to.
I told you he's a Unabomber. He looks freaking like he's from Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's my calling. You hook it on and you have to hold on to it. And when you let go, because there's been a few deaths here, like people are, what's the word I'm looking for? Airing out their gas, whatever. I don't know, purging their gas, and they pass out, and then the family passes out, and the whole
nice.
So what is it? It's hooked up to the meter or what?
No, to let's say your appliance, you're at the drip tube or wherever you're hooking up to, and you have to hold on to this handle. As soon as you let go of this handle, it closes. No gas comes out. So if you pass out,
oh yeah,
it'll stop.
I don't know if we have that here. I feel like we're cowboys.
Here it's a code. You have to have that. And they'll check that in your van when you go for your audit every
house
year.
has this?
No,
it's a tool.
A tool.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a tool you carry in your van that every time you purchase.
You ever use it? No, you don't use it.
No, it's brand new. Brand new.
Does it make a phone call for you if you like?
I know it just stops the gas from coming out when you're purging the system.
Why not just turn the gas off ahead of time then?
Oh, but when you're purging an appliance, you have to have the gas on, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cheaper?
When you're purging an appliance, you got to take out the air and blah blah blah. And you want the gas to come, and until that gas comes,
you can hear it change pitch though.
Well, you can hear everything. You can smell it. There's all kinds of things. But there's been times guys haven't, I guess, or guys maybe pass out. Maybe a guy had a stroke when he was doing it.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
I was at there was a water heater call. This guy called and said there was like a gas leak or whatever, and I went over there. The gas company was there. There's like many trucks of the gas company. There was an ambulance there. They were taking this dude away. He was trying to light the pilot, and it blew up in his face. And they wanted me to check it and make sure everything was safe and everything. I'm like, what is going on here? They had machines that they were testing the amount of natural gas sent in the gas because they were worried about having a lawsuit. Because this guy, what was he doing? He was doing something where he was like holding down the gas for, the pilot for extreme long amounts of time and not starting it, and it blew up on him.
Yeah. Once you fill that whole room or whole area, and the ratio is just perfect, it'll ignite. What was I gonna say? What's that gas? They add that stuff, mercaptan. I think that's what they add to it. It's a chemical they add to that makes that egg smell. I think it's called mercaptan or something.
It's like something that's on like the freaking 608 test that you don't.
Yeah, we don't. We
just call it skunk oil.
Skunk oil, and they put it in propane too.
Because they don't have no smell.
That's right.
Which is why R290 has no smell.
Right. Do they add anything to that?
Nope.
No, right? I'm
Nope,
surprised.
that's why you got to leave the old combustion analyzer rolling.
Really?
Yep. But see, I've been using my charging hose. I got like a 50-foot, quarter-inch charging hose, and what I've been doing lately is just running it out the drive-through window or whatever, and screw it on and vent it out. I mean, granted, it's only a couple ounces, but
Yeah.
Somebody shows up like, "Hey, I want my Big Mac. What's going in my face right now?"
Light your cigarette, bud.
breathe deeply, my friend.
Yes.
So, well, let's wrap
Yeah,
this
you
thing
were-
up. I am surprised that we've got still 57 people. We got some good troopers out there. I mean, that's awesome. You guys hanged out with us and stuff that long. 2 hours and 40
He
minutes.
said they add sulfur dioxide. That's what the skunk
That does
oil-
sound familiar.
Sulfur dioxide. Yeah, because sulfur gives off that eggs-like weird
Does it?
grossness. Yeah, so it's the sulfur dioxide.
Whatever it
makes
is, I know they call it with a mercaptan over down here. I don't know what's in it, but that's what they call it, and that's what was on my test. I had to remember that. But
See, we
anyway.
don't have to have none of that crap. I just run underneath their licenses. We don't need none of that.
Someone
Only
else-
certification I've got is a refrigeration license. That's it.
Wow.
I had my NATE certification, but that expired. So yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
make a penny more for having it. So,
No, exactly right.
but you know, that was one of the few tests that actually tested whether you really kind of knew what you were doing or not. Unlike the EPA test, it just knew, do you know the laws?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So,
I have a feeling the EPA test for you guys is the same test for us for transporting refrigerant. I have
Probably.
a feeling it's around the same thing. It's like, how long a course is it, anyways?
I don't even know anymore. I think you can do it online.
Right.
For Nate?
No, the EPA
Oh.
EPA.
waste of money
Eh,
thing.
I don't know. I just remember taking the Nate test, and I took like a bunch of the
I did the heat pump
Yeah,
and
I think I did heat pump service and something else all at the same time, and I passed them. And I thought it was going to be like life changing event for me.
yeah.
Went out and celebrated and everything. No,
Linux paid for it for me, so it didn't cost us nothing. But I didn't do all the continuing ed that you needed to do to keep it current. But I've got the test results to prove it. So
yeah,
now I got a freaking YouTube channel. I'll be like, well, you want to see what kind of guy I am? Just watch one of the freaking 100 videos I've got. You know, so.
Yes, and before we leave, Rick, I just want to say one more thing. Even to the young guys, that's why I like you, Rick. You're so diverse. Hydronics, boilers,
Generators,
ice cream,
machines.
generators, ice cream machines. I love that, and I encourage all the young people out there, like, don't be afraid to branch out to everything because they'll
The
come
more
in
you
handy.
know, the more you're worth.
That's right.
But the thing is, too, don't just try to get by. If you don't understand something, try to figure it out and try
Absolutely.
to ask around, look online. You know, you need to learn. Learning is good.
Try to be the best you can. Be
Yep.
your best. Be the best you can be.
I agree.
That's the main thing I try to do.
Yep.
The only thing that sucks when you're doing that many is it's hard to be great at all of it. It's impossible. I didn't believe it at first that, you know, well, you can only learn so many things. I'm like, no, I can do it all. No, I forgot that I don't have that kind of memory. There's a reason why I wasn't an A student in school.
Technology also changes very quickly, too.
Yeah.
It is changing. I mean, it's all this new crap that's coming out with the new gas furnaces, the residential stuff. I mean, like I said, the one guy that I talked to, he looks down on the residential guys quite a bit. But I'm like, when we got into our last fight, I'm like, dude, do you realize that everything that's in commercial is what's in residential now? The freak drives are ECM motors that they're communicating with 3 wires, 2 wires. I mean, you know, it's like, it's not such a difference anymore. It's not standing pilots. Things have changed, you know. So things have changed a lot since then. So,
Yeah. I would say some residential stuff, depending on what you're doing, or like commercials, heavier or more, let's say there's more logic to it than some of the bigger stuff, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I mean, he was having issues with an Infinity system, and you know, it was like I went out there and I'm like, well, you can tell right now that it's this, and you know, just comes back to working with it for so long that you know some of their current problems and things that have happened in the past and things, and it's like you know where to look at. So
exactly.
but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's cool. Well, let's wrap this puppy up here. We're at 2:43. If you guys haven't hit the like button, not that I know whether or not I'm going to leave this thing up yet or not. I'll have to watch it again later and see if
Leave it
I think
up.
it's too bad. Do you think so?
You know what, Jacob in the chat, I'm pretty sure these guys saying leave it up. Who cares?
This is a good.
Yeah, because honestly, what do we got here as far as the views? Does it say up there? Because it usually hits about 1,000 to 1,100, maybe 1,200 views, something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
It only shows the people watching. It don't show the total. So yeah, it's hard to say. I guess one of the nice things is it kind of just shows me uploading something constantly. So it kind of, I think, helps keep the algorithm going, because I'm trying to do 2 videos a week, which I've noticed it's been making a big difference on the amount of subscribers I've been getting, because it seems like they're throwing me out there somewhere. They're advertising for me more. So it seems like if I do the 2 videos, it seems to be making a difference.
I think because you're just close to the overtime crew. No, I'm joking.
It probably is. I mean, I bring Chris on and we hit 100 people.
Well,
you know?
I was going to say, hey, if Blue On wants to make it big, they should come on our show and start giving
Send us a freaking a couple pallets of the stuff, and we'll do some retrofits with it, and we'll say whether or not we'll give you our honest opinion if it's as good as you say it is.
You'll blow up.
Yeah.
Blow up.
Yep. I'm curious to see what's so great about it being like new 22 and the 422D and all the other funky monkey type freaking refrigerants out there. So
20 pounds D-hard, 20 pounds. Okay, go ahead, Rick.
20 pounds?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Nothing. It's a question that D-Hard was asking. What's the most you've ever done? He said 20 pounds.
20 pounds of crack or what?
Come on, man. My drug of choice.
All right, that's cool. Share it all. But
Or
yeah,
my
let's.
too.
Look, we're kind of like the boy and girl on the phone, you know, that never want to say goodbye. You go say bye first. So wrap this mother up. So
Well, that now you know why we used to be on for 8 hours. It was like 7
that what it
hours,
is?
59 minutes. Yeah.
well, I was the kid that never would say bye to her. You know, it's just like I kept talking. So it's like it never ends. So yeah, but I do appreciate you guys coming on and stuff. I appreciate all my viewers out there. I appreciate, you know, all the time you guys have spent with us. It makes it fun. It makes it interesting. You know, I feel privileged to have, you know, this platform to be able to speak with you guys and to do the videos and share some of the knowledge I've got and stuff like that. I really enjoy it, and I love the feedback. That's the thing that I love the most out of it. So thanks, guys, for coming on. Let's go ahead and call this thing an overtime moment, and we're shutting her down, and let's go on home. Till next time, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks now.
Thanks now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I want to see motion, movement. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay?
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We're done. Finito. See the door, use it.
Okay, everybody, time to go
Still
home.
here? It's over.
Nice.
Go home.
Don't sound
If
like
you guys
Chris.
want to come back on after we